Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and this is episode number 148 of the Corona Diaries. Thank y'all so much for being with us today. We've only got a few more episodes of the Diaries left. Corona Diaries number 150 will be our final episode of the series, and then we're going back to regular weekly episodes. But first, as we mentioned before, we are doing a clip show. We said this a couple of times, but we want you to tweet at us at The Goods Pod or tweet at me at Rivers Langley. Give us your favorite bits, news stories, or moments from the last 150 episodes. And also, if you could please include a timestamp and an episode number if you have it handy. I'm happy to go back in the archives at Disgraceland and look for that stuff, but if you have the timestamp and the episode number, it'll definitely make it on the clip show. I can't wait to put this whole thing together. Keep those clips coming in, and we're going to try to have that out by the end of the week next week. So on to our show today. This episode is presented in two parts. First up, I'm hanging out at Disgraceland with Uncle Joe Rains and Samuel T. Harter. Going to be talking about the news and drinking a nasty peach energy drink. And then I'm going to be scooting up the road to Simi Valley, California to speak with the Grandmaster of This Is Rad and many other fantastic projects. He'll tell you all about them. Kyle Clark is going to be coming up in the second half of our show today. So that's all I got up top. The Goods from the Woods, Corona Diaries number 148 starts right now. What's the dumbest thing you've ever seen a bathroom key attached to?
They get real wild with that shit.
That shit is my favorite thing ever.
The kitchen size spoon.
Yes, I love the spoon.
That's a good one. I've seen I guess an excess bathroom sign before.
Oh,
the giant blue thing, and it's like still in the key. It's like, well, this is weird.
They like punch a hole in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I stopped at a rest area in Tucumcari, New Mexico, and they had a nightstick. Like a fucking
to the bathroom that's outside. You'll need that.
Literally, that was such mixed messaging where I was like, all right, first of all, I feel like more people would be inclined to steal a nightstick. Like, this just seems like, because nightsticks are cool, I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is the number one reason not to do it.
That was my first concern. I was like, seems like this would get stolen a lot. And then the second concern is like, why do I need this on
it? Has dried blood on it.
Well, like the big kitchen spoon is like the metal one. Like those cost probably like $20-$30 to get a decent one.
Yeah.
So... yeah, you could just steal. I didn't even think about stealing it. I guess the idea is stealing the key, but what is stealing a sign?
Right. Yeah.
That's even
if you're
cooler.
Going to steal the spoon, God help you if you plan on using it. I don't know if there's enough bleach in the world to use a gas station bathroom spoon as an actual.
I'm talking
spoon.
the one at the coffee shop at. God, what's that place? Cafecita Organica?
Oh, yes.
Or no,
yes.
Sabori Cultura.
Oh, yeah, Sabor. They did have a big giant spoon. And a weird, buffet thing that was never used by the bathroom.
What?
At one time, they had, one of those buffet
Yeah, when we
things
first
down
got here, they used to have a buffet table, and we were always like, when are they doing a buffet at the coffee shop? It's like,
Is that
coffee buffet.
Is that still a coffee shop?
Yeah, it's still around. They just don't
know.
They just don't do mics anymore.
No, they definitely did. You guys got to keep going back to the same places.
Yeah, they make a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the last time you guys did it was 7 years ago.
It was 2013,
The last time I did Sabor was 2016-ish probably.
Yeah,
they stopped doing the mic, and then they brought back a half music, half comedy mic I just never went to because it was they're not... I had always been told they weren't taking more comedians.
Okay. I just liked their mic because they had... their stage was probably... maybe 3 feet by 3 feet wooden, apple box kind of thing with AstroTurf on top. And then instead of a stool, they had a Doric column, like a Roman column that you would put a vase on or something.
Yeah, you really haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
They don't even have a stage. You just stand next to a table.
Oh, okay.
Well, very large, what would be a dinner table at most places.
Well, this wasn't a stage, really. It was just a thing that you could pretty easily fall off of because the most of the surface area was taken up by the column.
Yeah. I don't know. They've had an open mic the entire time I've been here.
Wow. Okay. Well, shit.
I've hosted it.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Hell yeah. Well, it's time to go back. Well, I wanted to say happy Pride to all of our friends listening out there. We literally started off Pride with a bang in Moses Lake, Washington. There were a couple people hanging out on a boat, and their boat...
I saw this. This is a delight.
Their boat was all decked out with rainbow flags and trans pride flags and all the good time
It was like
flags.
a family, right?
Yeah, it was a family. They're hanging out in the lake, and a couple of douchebags started circling their boat 5 or 6 times and like giving them the finger and shit. There's a video of this
And
on
yelling slurs.
yeah, and yelling homophobic shit at them. And so there's a video of this. We'll throw it up on Twitter, but you can see the lady here's like flicking the middle finger at them. Like they're just being just absolute dickheads. And then their boat catches on fire and explodes.
Well, and they start swimming towards the people they were just
Yes.
yelling at. And I was like, at my apartment, I was like, it's such a quandary. Do you help them? They're wearing life vests, so they're not going to drown. And
Right.
it would serve them right if they had to like dog paddle to shore.
Yeah.
For being dickheads, but you know.
Absolutely. It's just like...
I think I'd throw
Did that
them
just happen because they revved it so hard?
Yeah, their
Yeah.
boat was so shitty that they just started, going in circles around these people and harassing them, and then their engine caught on fire and
I
exploded.
love that there's like other boat people that are so savvy at putting out boat fires. Did you see how they put
Yeah.
the boat out?
Oh, yeah.
Another boat just revved near the boat and kicked up water and put it
Yeah.
out. That's
Nice,
wild.
nice little rooster tail. Put out
yep.
the fire.
Kicking up the fucking rooster tail. So that's a hell of a way to start Pride. So shout out to everybody.
Why? Because it's flaming.
No, because it's badass that you get a bunch of
make 'em
bigots
swim.
and have their boat explode.
They have life vests on. Paddle
Yeah.
the shore, assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I would do is I would like throw a rope behind me and be like, I'll like tow you to shore, dickheads.
Yeah.
You're not getting in my boat.
Yeah,
I have a tow rope and no wakeboard, so hold on tight.
We'll just drag you.
Yeah. Y'all ever do that? Just no tube, no skis, just get fucking
No.
dragged behind a boat?
Oh, I never knew
Never.
anybody.
Did you?
Once we had a tube that popped.
And you like were on. You purposely were like, "Hey, drag me."
Yeah, well, the tube popped, so we just took turns seeing how far we could get dragged, and it was
How
fun.
did the
That's
tube pop just
insane.
because you were going super hardcore with it?
I don't even remember. It was one of those things where I was on the boat and not paying attention, just hanging out, and then the next thing we knew, somebody was like, "Oh, the tube is fucked up," and it was all like flat. So, but God knows what the hell happened to it. But yeah, we ended up just doing what do we call it? Like foot skiing, where you just basically try to.
That's a thing.
It's a thing, but not for like, a giant fat idiot who's 19. It just turned into me desperately trying to keep my pants on and my hand on the
Yeah,
rope.
I was gonna guess that would happen to me also.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is definitely a weight limit to feet skiing.
Yeah. There's a weight limit to regular water skiing, too. I was just like, I go with the tube. The tube I can handle. I like a tube. I'd probably do that if we... Have you ever seen people doing the tubing on the snow, where they get dragged behind a fucking snowmobile on a tube?
yeah.
I
That
was
looks
like,
I've done
real crazy.
it looks like it would hurt a lot if you fell off.
I've just sledded down a hill in an inner tube, and it's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't... Oh, man.
I mean, what happens if you hit a tree and Sonny Bono yourself and you're that?
Yeah, but it's not even like you're skiing. You're just like,
That's why the inner tube hits it for the cushion.
that's true.
Oh, well, yeah. But like, what if you hit the tree?
I was
going
gonna
to
say,
something
you're
else?
getting thrown
Well,
out of
then
that thing.
That's
What
your
a way
fault
to go.
for not grabbing onto the inner tube and using it as a shield.
Yeah, and it's not even like the glory of like, I was skiing down a beautiful mountain, and
You're doing
that's when I
something
met
more
St.
badass.
Peter, and it's like, nope.
Nah, Trevor was pulling me, and he banked a hard right and shit. That thing slid out from under me.
Going
and
about
I went-
65, I would say.
I went head first into an actual bear, and it killed me. We both exploded. It was one hell of a way to go.
I mean, I'd give it a try. I really have not done hardly any winter sports of any kind other than what you're describing, sliding down a hill or...
Yeah, it's not a South. In the South, it's a rich person thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the North, it's probably normal. But in the South, if you do that, you are so rich.
Yeah, the closest I've gone to skiing was just rolling down a hill that was covered in snow and then landing in a big mud puddle and having to go home.
I mean, where in the South would you even go to ski? Like,
Yeah, that's the point. Is you have to like
Gatlinburg?
fly. You
Yeah.
have to fly somewhere to do it.
Right.
And then all the equipment's super expensive. I tried to snowboard once and was like, oh, this is all right. And then I fell and had to like turn myself over to do it, and it hurt my back so bad. I was just like, I'm done. I'm gonna go to the video arcade and play super off-road on the arcade machine.
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah, I feel like you have to have like super strong legs and ankles to like ski, and I don't. So I feel like I would just fall over and be real sore the next day.
Yeah. Did the ski lodge have a arcade house arcade? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, they had a little one. They had enough for the children who don't want to ski or whatever. It wasn't much, but they had a game I love. So,
dude, that rocks. I just found out that there was a pizza place in my hometown that has been gone for like 20 years called Mr. Gaddy's.
Dude, Mr. Gaddy's rules.
Yeah.
Went bankrupt recently.
Well, they're
in
back,
the past couple
apparently.
of years. What?
Yeah, because they're building Gaddy's is coming back to Opelika.
Wow.
And I was like,
I am so happy to hear that.
I was so fucking stoked, but also I was like, if they're going to do this right, they need to get the exact same. I mean, get some more games by all means, but they got to have, because our Gaddy's had one of the best lineups of games. It was like Mortal Kombat 2, Super Mario Brothers in a cabinet, Golden Axe in a cabinet, Cruis'n USA, Area 51, Donkey Kong, and Miss Pac-Man.
What's the deal with pizza places and video games? Why?
Children go there.
Oh, that's true.
They're for kids.
Yeah,
And the
distract
pizza takes
kids.
it takes forever for a pizza.
Well,
to
no,
get made.
Gaddy's was a buffet. So we would go there after baseball games that we lost, soccer games that we lost,
Okay, Rivers, you are going to flip your shit when I tell you this.
Okay.
Because I think Gaddy's originated in Austin
Yeah, I
or
think
around
that's right.
Austin. They built a place called Gaddy Town.
Whoa.
Did you see how he popped up?
Yeah, you
Gaddy
did.
Town.
Gaddy Town. Because I don't know if your Mr. Gaddy's had this, but there's a movie screening room. Or
We had a cartoon room and we had a sports room. Yeah.
That's what they had at the Gaddy Town.
Sounds like a one-stop shop for molesters. Just you got all the things.
Well,
wow, Joe. I mean, if that's how you think about things,
gonna
yeah,
say.
I guess so. But yeah, they had I think they had an additional room that kind of played older movies too.
Yeah.
And then an arcade the size of the rest of the restaurant.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They had everything. They had multiple rooms, ticket games, every fucking awesome, just every game you could think of from that time. And then Columbine happened, and they took out all the ones where you can shoot people.
Oh, come on.
But there's still a lot of games where you can shoot fish and monsters
Yeah,
and
monsters are good.
Carnival. Shitty ass Area 51.
Oh, yeah,
garbage game.
But oh god, is it called Time Crisis? The one with the pedal?
Dude, that game they took out Time Crisis.
Yeah. I love
Thankfully,
that game.
we bought it for PlayStation at my house.
Oh, but it's the best.
But you don't have the pedal.
Yeah, that's the best part is you hit a pedal to reload the gun. And
Or to go around
there's
like corners and shit.
There's a button on the gun. It's the same. It's the same once you get used to it.
Yeah, okay.
Time Crisis 2, excellent. I think even a third one. God, they need to put a Time Crisis machine in the laundry room here.
Oh, fuck. We should
I bet I think they have Time Crisis up the street.
You should just put a bunch of video game cabinets in your washateria room, and then like put money things on it, and just watch the money.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was
you
like,
could pay for your laundry.
There's too much
from
moisture in the air.
from the games.
Yeah, we'd have to get the as we discussed. There was already a fire down there because the dryers are not actually ventilated
because there weren't enough arcade machines.
Yeah.
That's why we had a fire.
Yeah, but yeah, the dryers out vents don't connect to anything. They just have a mesh bag on the end, which created a fire. I think so.
You got to change those out.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that this would be the apartment complex where that would happen. This is like Mad Max. This place is just wild. Everything about this complex is bananas.
There was somebody, I think it might have been Alexis from the Violet Wanderers podcast, sent me a text, and I had like fallen asleep and didn't get back to her till like the next day or something. And I answered the text, and she was like, "Oh, thank God," because I had just mentioned that we had a fire. And I think I said on the podcast, I was like, "If you don't hear from me for a while, it's probably because we're all dead in a fire." And she was like, "God, I thought you guys were dead in the fire." I'm like, "Nope, still good. Just
Jeez
fell asleep
Louise.
because I ate too many hamburgers."
It's good to know people are.
I ate too many hamburgers.
It's good to know people are watching out for us. Though.
I know. Yeah. It is.
Well, I mean,
it's very nice.
she didn't really watch out. She was just like, "Oh no, they're dead." I mean, it's not like she came over here and checked
She
on
couldn't
them.
have done anything.
I
Really.
mean, she lives in Indiana, so
It
that's
sounded like she flew here.
started GoFundMe for the funeral, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, and then get this.
Oh yeah, sure.
There was a Gaddy World
What?
that was even bigger than Gaddy Town.
Where was that?
About in Round Rock, just like the suburbs, just north. Gaddytown was the suburbs just south of Austin.
And the Gaddy Empire was way bigger than I even imagined.
Yeah, 459-2222.
Wow.
That's the number you called it. Played on the radio all the time.
Damn, I just knew there was a Gaddy's in Auburn. There was one in Johnson City, Tennessee, where my uncle lived, and I thought that was crazy.
You know what they do? At Mr. Gaddy's, smoked provolone.
Oh,
that's the cheese they use. That's why it's so delicious.
No shit. Okay. Yeah, ours was always on a buffet, and I don't really remember the pizza as much as just because I was
It's just greasy and yummy.
Yeah. Well, I was like a kid, so it was just like unlimited pizza, and there's a cartoon room,
and you can just pour up your favorite suicide fountain drink.
Yeah, hit the suicide, hit the Golden Axe machine. Like Golden Axe, one of the few games that I ever beat as a kid. You know, like I'm not a good gamer. I
just took a lot of quarters.
Yeah. No, and then it was always beyond me when you'd be playing Golden Axe with somebody and the other person wouldn't select the dwarf with the fucking axe. Like, come on, that's crazy.
I don't know, Rivers.
Who's playing as the Beef Conan ripoff man with
his
the sword?
attacks are pretty strong.
No, I was always the little dwarf guy with the beard.
Me too, but come on. I like to switch it up.
We had a Jam and Jim's in Birmingham. That was the pizza.
Sounds like a place for molesters to hang out.
Probably was. I went there for like 4 birthdays in a row. Terrible pizza, all the video games, and like this huge like gym-like pit thing. Like it was like
it was Jam and Jim, like
Jim, like it was like the
G-Y-M.
McDonald's playground times a million. Like it was like this huge like warehouse type room just filled with like half of it was filled with like the most bananas like gym like thing where like you had like full on what are the things where you like go down
the zip line?
Yeah, full on zip line into a giant ball pit, all the tubes in the world. Just it was like
I think I went to this.
It was
this
like
was in Birmingham.
Yeah, it was like
I think I went to this
in Hoover on Highway 31.
I went to this when I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean it was the birthday spot, man.
Holy
it was,
shit! Yeah. I never knew what it was called. But
Jam and Jim's,
100%. I went to this because I remember going to that, and then also the briefly lived DZ Discovery Zone as well.
Yeah, it was later.
That was later though.
They had a place in Austin called Pandemonium, and it sounds a lot like what you're describing with the gym. Lots of just soft things for you to jump and roll around.
Yeah, it was just it was like the biggest, greatest plastic treehouse.
And then they had a giant arcade. I don't know if they served food though. But
they probably had pizza. There's no way they were doing every part of the birthday but the food.
They had a thing where, like, if you went to either side of the top of the, like, gym area, you could get on these nets that covered the whole top of the arcade area. So you could climb over the arcade and like watch other kids play games. Yeah. Like find the kids who are like really good at a game you like and just fucking like watch them because you're too poor to have quarters, you know? And that was fun.
We had
or you could just yell at your friends from above.
What was Chuck E. Cheese before it was Chuck E. Cheese? I never went to Chuck E. Cheese's, but I went to what it was before, where it had like the singing. It was the singing bears or whatever.
I was just gonna mention
Happy Time Pizza or Fun Time Pizza or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was gonna mention that we had Lambert Skate Center, which was it was roller rink, and they had video games and shit, but they had the animatronic band, Fun Time band that they had at Chuck E. Cheese, but it was like a complete knockoff one, and it was almost never on. The only time they would turn it on is if somebody rented it out for a birthday party.
Yeah.
And it was so old and disgusting that the one time I saw it got turned on, I was at a friend's birthday, and there was just dust, clouds of dust. It was like Pigpen from Peanuts just coming off of the thing as they were like singing, Itsy Bitsy Spider or something. It was
those are funny if the head just falls off and rolls
It was
down.
Horrifying. I remember even being like 4 years old, like, this is
Well, I got news
bad.
for you. It wasn't much better not dusty. I remember whatever the pizza place was, we went there for like 2 or 3 birthdays as a kid, and every time when the animals would be like and start going, like at least 8 children at the party would just be like, and freak out.
Children would leave the room every time. Every fucking time. Yeah, I went to God, I don't remember what it's called. But they had that. They had the arcade. They had the bumper boats.
Ooh,
they had go-karts. They had a motherfucking mini golf course.
Yo, straight up, do y'all want to go karting soon?
I don't know.
I passed one. I was coming from Orange County. They have a huge go-kart track off the 5 down in like Carson or something. I was like, that might be a fun day. They got putt-putt and shit. I was like, we should have ourselves a 7-year-old's birthday party.
I want to go to Six Flags. We got to go to Six Flags.
Hey, man.
Theme parks are overrated.
Hey, I mean, I can see
For the
their argument.
price,
Yeah, but
overrated.
putt-putt is cheap as shit. And
Showbiz Pizza, that's what it was.
Showbiz Pizza, yeah.
Yeah, that was the terrifying singing rat. Were they rats or were they bears? I don't remember what they were.
It's a rat at Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese has like a whole...
No, it was bears. It was bears, and they were just absolutely terrifying, and you could see like the metal poking out and shit.
Yeah. We talked about...
They're skeletons.
We talked about the Chuck E. Cheese characters on one of these episodes, and there's one Chuck E. Cheese character that's just like an Italian guy, Pasquale.
All right.
Spaghetti.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Like,
Who's got to make the pizza? It's that rat.
yeah. There's Chuck E. Cheese. There's Jasper Jowls, Helen Henny, who is a hen, Mr. Munch, who's like a monster, and then there's just an Italian man named Pasquale.
What ethnicities are all the other ones?
One's a hen, one's a monster.
That's not what I asked.
I mean, I don't know. Helen Henny. Helen is a
What's she look like?
It's a little Italian.
She looks like a hen.
It's a little Italian guy named
What
Alfredo.
color hen?
Yeah, Pasquale's the drummer, by the way.
Well, it just
He
makes
makes
me
eggs
think,
erroneous.
It just makes me think that all of them have ethnicities. If one of them does, at least.
Nope.
I'm going to go this season. I'm going to go to Six Flags and I'm going to get one of those fast passes and I'm not waiting in any lines and I'm going to have the best day.
We've got a white hen, a purple monster. Chuck E. Cheese is obviously gray. Pasquale is Italian, and there's a brown dog.
Okay.
So, Chuck E. Cheese, it should be noted, is dressed, I think, in almost the exact same outfit that Kurt Cobain is in the "Smells Like Teen Spirit" video.
Let me see again.
I mean, it's pretty close. He's got the striped purple shirt, the fucking ripped up jeans. He got the chucks.
He's hip.
Yeah, he's hip. He's ready. He's the new man. He's ready for 1991. It's time for Bill Clinton and Al Gore to become the president.
Hey,
vice
kids,
president.
you remember when Seattle took over the music world?
It's like, no, I'm 6. I don't know what Seattle is.
I don't even remember 9/11.
I don't know what Seattle is. I'm a child. I have this story from Nashville, Tennessee, which, we're coming to the end of the Corona Diaries here. We got 3 more episodes with this one included, and I think we're gonna have to settle on which was the worst city during the pandemic, and it really does, I think, have to be Nashville.
Why?
What do you mean? What's the worst city? Like what?
Just overall, the most weird, stupid, horrible things that we have talked about on this show.
Kind of just completely ignoring the guidelines of the pandemic.
Just overall
setting a bomb off Christmas Day.
Yeah, there was.
downtown.
There was the bomb.
RV.
There was the guy slinging the poo poo at Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk. Just Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk in general was the epicenter of terribleness.
I mean, the only thing about Nashville that I really like is the people I like that live there and Monell's.
No, Monell's is the shit. Yeah, it's a great place. But no, I love Nashville. But boy, I mean, I don't think I've covered more weird, stupid shit this whole time than Nashville, Tennessee. The only other possible one would be Texas somewhere, but that's dispensed. That seems to be a lot of the.
That's not because of the pandemic. That's just generally Texas.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a lot of different cities. This just
every
seems to
time
be,
they someone from Texas is like, we're going to secede. It's just like, please do.
We used to be our own country.
Yeah, you should definitely be your own country again. Just you and Florida, and then we can just ship all our weirdos to your country, whatever that tech floor axis.
Yeah.
Floor axes. I like it.
Floor axis.
So yeah, this kind of broke over the weekend. Hatworks is an extremely expensive hat store in the Edge Hill neighborhood of Nashville, and it is owned by a woman named Gigi Gaskins.
Oh no, it's already
She's got lots of
trouble's
stories.
already a brewing.
So March 17th, 2020, right around the time this whole thing began, St. Patrick's Day, Gaskins wrote on Instagram, quote, "Hatworks is open. All 5 of us are here, not sick, not fearful, and on the payroll. don't even buy a cowboy hat if you're not going to act like one.
Good God.
So
Gigi.
Out the gate, like starter's pistol for the pandemic. She's already fucking out of her mind. During the George Floyd protests, she posted this, quote, "Don't even go there thinking you can call me a racist, because that does not play. I have lived for over 35 years with black neighbors, not more than 10 feet from me on either side, and I have hired and worked alongside many black folks," and then this is my favorite part, "wonderful black hat-wearing men were my first customers when I opened." So you can't go there.
I like to think that no one has called her racist before that, and she's just had this argument with nobody in her head for like a week, and then just blows up on Instagram, apropos of nothing, where she's just like, "Don't even go there."
I'm just a big fan of the phrase "wonderful black hat-wearing men."
Yes.
As long as they're buying shit from me, they're wonderful.
Yeah. The cowboy hat, one of the most non-racist hats.
Right. Well,
non-racist people.
She sells all kinds of hats, I will say that.
Don't even wear the cowboy hat if you're not going to act like one. And you know what? You're going to wear a bowler? You better get some English tea and
Can you buy like
an accent
fitted Yankees cap there?
It doesn't appear they have baseball.
Fuck this
baseball
place.
Caps, but
I just like that she requires the people who buy the hats to act like the caricature of someone who would wear
right. Yeah, you're trying to buy like a Indiana Jones hat. It's like, you don't go searching for treasures.
You've never once looked for treasure. You can't wear that. Don't even act like it.
Prove to me you could use a bullwhip, and then I'll sell you a brown fedora.
She sells yarmulkes. You're not Hebrew.
Ooh,
I don't think she sells.
There's no way she sells yarmulkes.
From what I've heard about this story,
I think Sam has read this story and Joe hasn't. So as of April 2021, Gaskins has received almost $93,000 in PPP loans, which is funny because she is literally always being like, the government is socialist and communist. I'm like, yeah, they keep giving you a bunch of free money, you ungrateful asshole. So what has she spent her $93,000 on, you might add?
Hats.
You might ask.
Good guess.
Hats, very good guess. So among other things, she took a little trip to our nation's capital on January 6th.
Oh, wow.
Where she posted a picture from the Capitol steps with the captions, quote, "Welcome to Communist America. They keep taking this photo down on Instagram. Yes, I took this picture, and yes, I was proud to stand on the Capitol."
She did. She may not have stormed it though.
No, she didn't go. She apparently, based on the Instagram, did not go inside. But she at least,
for her.
Yeah,
it's a peaceful protest.
Little bit of restraint. A little bit of restraint.
She didn't break the law, then, right?
No, not in that case. No, she didn't break the law at all. But
she just used the PPE to protest.
Right, she was using taxpayer money to go to DC and be a dipshit. So.
Maybe it was because the hat she was wearing.
Yeah. And
she needed to act like it.
Yeah, she felt responsible. She was like, you know what? I got the hat on. I don't want to go protest, but I got this old white lady hat on, and I got to go yell at the neighbors and go protest.
It says "Make America Great Again." What am I supposed to do? Not act like it?
Yeah. After the January 6th incident, she posted a historic picture of Jewish people being put onto a train car in Nazi Germany and wrote in the caption, quote, "Is this where it ends? Because dozens of people on here said this is what I deserve. Where does it end? Because it's not ending on January 20th. I'll tell you that." So she's one of those people. She also, with her money, put up a couple billboards around Nashville. We'll put these on our Twitter.
What happens to you if you use the money like this?
I don't know.
I don't think they care.
Yeah, I don't think they care. The first one, the billboard says, cancel culture before it cancels us all. How it works.
How it works.
That's a cool logo.
She's putting her fucking business on there, too.
Yeah, that's the most confusing part where I'm just like, you really want to... Okay. And then the other one, and this one, honestly, is the most offensive part about this is that there's about 6 different fonts on here. Warriors of justice, we ask you, please stop trying to cancel the air that we breathe, for we live in America, the land of the free. One thing for certain, you will not cancel me. How it works, Nashville. And
I don't like this.
You can see she's used about 27 fonts for this. So put that one on the Bad Comedy Flyers Facebook page. And also based on the hat that was on there, I saw it on Twitter like kind of early in the morning, and I was like, is this for Kid Rock's honky tonk, because it is kind of a Kid Rock hat.
This whole thing is like, do you understand you're not being canceled? People are just criticizing your actions.
Right. Yeah.
You're not being canceled.
So last Thursday, Gigi posted a picture on her Instagram of her wearing a yellow Star of David patch that said "not vaccinated" in the middle of it. In the caption, she wrote, quote, "Patches are here. They turned out great. $5 each. Strong adhesive back. We'll be offering trucker hats soon."
Oh, I saw that. That's what
Yes,
this is.
that's
The best part is not the best part.
Adhesive.
I wanted to give a little backstory on this person.
Very funny part is these patches look like dog shit.
They're terrible
They don't
looking.
even look good.
Yeah, they
If
look
you're going
like
to be
shit.
racist, get it together, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, the logo for the SS is a fucking skull and crossbones. That's fucking,
Don't say it.
it's cool. Take the SS off it, and it's just a pirate flag, and everyone loves pirates.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I know. I don't know if I want to be associated with this podcast anymore.
Hey, man.
I don't understand the
Kiss.
correlation, though. That I just all these dum-dums are running around with their Star David bullshit, and it's like, how did you get from A to B there? Like, at what point is
because I remember
a vaccine that you can or cannot get?
Yeah. Well, see, my thing I remember about, when I learned about the Holocaust was when, Jewish people made their own patches and sold them to each other when they were in the, in Auschwitz. That's how that worked. So,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that she was recreating a genuine experience.
It looks like a project a first grader would do.
Dude, yeah.
It really
it's
does.
so shitty looking. Like,
it's amazing how bad it looks. And that's just another reason they're an idiot.
But that has strong adhesive, so it even though you have the safety pin, which is also very awesome with my temporary star, because that's how it was back then. You could just wear it that day or not.
Yeah,
You just got to choose when you wear it.
But yeah, so after she posted that, obviously everybody was like, hey, what the fuck? And she took the post down. So she said that she never actually sold any of the patches.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, it was only up for 3 hours.
They're free. She's giving it out.
It's for donation. She's getting it. Yeah, it's for donation. You're not buying it.
Right.
You're donating.
Yeah, so she took the post down after 2 or 3 hours when it started generating controversy, but she could not help but make it worse. So she posted, I pay much more respect to history by standing up with the fallen than offering silence and compliance. That is the worst crime. It was then and is now. I will delete your disgust and hope you put it where it belongs. And then immediately after that, another insane post. For the last 15 months, I've been pushing back on government overreach, standing up to groupthink, trying to reason in a sea of irrational. It has 100% been fighting the totalitarian march and power grab we are seeing play out across the globe. And then, she says that she's now the target of the mob.
Does she mean like mob mentality or the actual Costa Nostra?
No, I mean, that would be awesome. It's a shame Bugsy Siegel's dead. It's a shame Meyer Lansky's dead. We need the good Jewish mob to just show up and pay her a little visit, There's a lot of scary Jewish dudes running around in the 40s and 50s. Like, come on, give her a knock on her door. Come on. She says, in the past 15 months, there has been plenty of unforgivable harm done to me. This weekend there were protesters all around the store the whole weekend, holding up banners that said no Nazis in Nashville and that kind of stuff. So, shit's going really well over there. But yeah, so since then, she has been dropped by Stetson, Stefano, Roche, Doria, 1905, Gorin Brothers, Aegean, Giovanno, Dobbs, Dorfman, Pacific and Biltmore Hats, Tilly, Tula, Akubra, and Kangol have all stopped selling to her.
Is Dorfman, is that run by... The Dorf
It's Dorf on Golf. Yeah, it's where Dorf gets his hats. Yeah.
Very good.
It's where Dorf on Golf gets his hats.
It's funny that she sells like cowboy hats to racists and then like old school Kangol hats to
that's what I was thinking. I was like, why?
People who loved LL Cool J in the 80s.
This all like the fuzzy pink hats that Samuel L. Jackson used to wear and shit. But there was one little side story that happened during all of this, and that came from the Atwood Hat Company from Frankston, Texas. And their slogan is, the hat the cowboys wear.
All right.
Which I would say Stetson is the hat the cowboys wear, but okay, sure.
No, that's the poser cowboys.
Yeah, that's
what the real cowboys wear.
The real cowboys like Atwood. So they say, Hatworks Nashville public statement. After a thorough examination of the situation involving Hatworks in Nashville, we must announce the immediate separation of our relationship with both the owner and the store. We will no longer supply our product in any way to the store due to the anti-Semitic implications of the hurtful images portrayed by the owner's actions.
That sounds exactly like what a cowboy would say.
Well, no, I mean, I would say, like, good on you. That sounds about right. That's what you should do. But that's from today, and only after over the weekend, basically, they put up a big list of all of her suppliers on Reddit, and people just started messaging all of them like, what do you think about this? And that's why all these people have dropped her.
Has she gone crazy yet? Or crazier?
Oh, completely. Crazy, yeah. Oh, my God, yes. Oh, she's been posting nonstop this whole time, but basically people start reaching out to these hat companies, and somebody reached out and, presented the evidence like, hey, Atwood hats, what do you think? And this is the reply that came to them through Facebook from Atwood hats. So this is before, now they're saying like, oh, yeah, she's anti-Semitic, it's a big deal. We're not going to deal with her anymore. But previous to that, somebody brought this up to them, and it was a woman who brought it up to them, and they say, LOL, you are way too anal. Hey, I just take orders from customers in the free market system. I do business with Jewish people every week, and they seem to be fine. If you think you intimidate me, you are mistaken. One of my competitors is Jewish, and he seems to have no problem. Make your husband a sandwich and relax.
Oh, wow. I like that. Give me. He just hit all the spots there.
So,
good God.
I assume that I don't know. It's just it's fun that they've changed their tune.
Has a good relationship with his mother.
yeah, I'm sure he does.
Wow. All right.
But yeah. So anyway, I feel like
that does sound like a cowboy. See that sounded like a cowboy.
Yeah, that's an actual fucking cowboy. But anyway, we got to play this one time.
This is suicide, my man.
That's how you know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on in Nashville.
Nice.
Figured I would update everybody on that, because the way the story was presented was just like, wow, can you believe what this lady was saying? And I was like, I saw the billboard like a week ago. Like, she's been like this. This isn't new. I didn't see very many of those stories mention the billboards.
Well, what happens to these people like after they stop being news? That's what I'm wondering. Like once this,
they go back to what they were before.
Yeah, but everything dies down. Like I guess she's gonna lose the business. So was she gonna just work some other job and be a mad lady?
She should rebrand.
She's rebrand and only sell yarmulkes.
Hats.
She only
not
sells
racist hats.
Not racist hats, and she only sells yarmulkes. And she's like, I'm one with the community. I have unleavened bread and yarmulkes.
Yeah, if you want to get a cowboy hat, she goes, ooh, I gotta go check in the back. We don't have a lot of those.
Right. Yeah.
We don't sell to those people.
Yeah, to those kind of people.
Yeah, Stetson stopped selling to us. There was a bit of a story about about 2 weeks ago when there was the big fire up in the Pacific Palisades involving the Citizen app. Did you guys read about that shit?
I didn't even know there was a fire.
So we've been, kind of talking about the Citizen app as just they give updates of crazy shit happening in the neighborhood and everything, but they're starting to take a really scary turn, starting with somebody spotted on the freeway a citizen security truck that it sort of seems like now what they're setting up is they're going to try to transition into like instant response private police sort of a thing. Like they're going to have some sort of monthly, it's going to be like Netflix where you pay $12 a month, and if someone robs you, you can hit your citizen button and some private cops will come and beat the shit out of the criminals. I think is sort of the thing.
Certainly they can't harm anybody.
I mean, well,
then they would
just
go to
claim
jail.
Self-defense.
Yeah, he was headed right for me. I can just say that shit
on the other side of town in his house. He was coming right for me 6 miles away in bed, and the citizen police guys murdered him.
Well, so there was a fire up in the Pacific Palisades, and a lot of times with the big wildfires out here, a lot of times they're started by arsonists. Whether it's a way to get insurance money or just
having something to
fun.
do. Yeah, having dangerous fun.
But yeah, I wanted to. I was going to basically read this article until we got mad. This is from Vice.
I never get mad.
Andrew Frame was excited. It was Saturday night 2 weeks ago, and Frame, the CEO of the crime and neighborhood watch app Citizen, was on Slack, whipping himself and his employees into what he'd later call an all-hands-on-deck fury of passion about a wildfire.
Fury of passion.
About a wildfire that had broken out earlier that afternoon in the Los Angeles Pacific Palisades neighborhood. Citizen had gotten a tip that the wildfire was started by an arsonist, and Frame had decided earlier in the night that the fire was a huge opportunity for Citizen. So using a new live streaming service that had just launched, they would try to catch the suspect live on air with thousands of people watching. Frame decided the Citizen user who provided the information that led to the suspect's arrest would get $10,000. Frame wanted him before midnight, but as the night wore on, Citizen got more and more information about the supposed suspect. They obtained a photo of the man, which they kept up on the live stream for a large portion of the night. More information trickled in through tip lines that Citizen had set up, and eventually they raised the reward to $30,000. And in the private Slack, he said, "This is the CEO again. Find this fuck. Let's get this guy before midnight. He's going down."
Did they murder him?
They definitely tried. Breaking news, this guy is the devil. Get him, Frame said. By midnight.
Breaking news.
We hate this guy. Get him. So this is the CEO of an app just losing his goddamn mind like he's Dr. Doom or something.
Well, he knows this is a huge come-up opportunity.
100%.
If they catch the arsonist.
Dude, if J. Jonah Jameson can get Spider-Man, it's over. So he was growing impatient, and so close in on him. $30K, let's get him. So this is when he raises the bounty to $30,000. So they put out a notification. Arsonist pursuit continues, which went out to over 800,000 Citizen users in Los Angeles. Over the course of nearly 7 hours, Citizen, under the increasingly frantic direction of Frame, conducted a citywide app-fueled manhunt for a specific suspected arsonist. The employees went back and forth on how they should frame the manhunt, and so it turns out it was the wrong guy.
Yeah, I mean, who didn't see that coming?
They turned over 800,000 people on the wrong man. And
he's dead now.
Sounds just like
fun precedent,
almost just like the real cops.
Yeah, almost like the real cops, except there's not even the illusion of accountability.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, the cops are not accountable in any way. But
a homeless guy should sue him,
right? But these
they
people
blame it on a homeless guy.
That's what they always
blame it on homeless.
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
rough.
Well, that's what they always do, and most of the time it's the fucking power lines. It's the goddamn shitty ass.
They were at one point they were claiming that the guy was running through the forest hiding and setting more fires.
Right. Oh my god. Yeah, were you following this when it was going on?
Oh yeah, I saw some of the stuff.
like,
on the
I did
Citizen
too.
app.
I mean, it's stupid just because it's stupid and you fucked up, but also that's like illegal. Like that homeless dude could sue the shit out.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah. Sicking 800,000 people on one guy.
Yeah, some ambulance chasing lawyer will be like, "Hey, let me do all the work for you."
They'll
You
take
just
that
collect a
case
check.
for free.
Yeah, for free, pro bono, and all I get is 60% of the check.
So at one point, Frame said, quote, "These metrics will be great." And at one point, there were over 40,000 people watching the live feed of them pursuing this guy who, again, didn't do it.
Was
nowhere near where they were. When I saw the video, they were just walking past the cops being like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
The cops are just like, "Go over there."
Yeah, get the hell. It's a fire, you idiots. It's a fire.
Did they issue a statement like, "Our bad, it was the wrong guy"?
I'm not sure. I have to keep reading down here because I think they mentioned it, but
this is one of those things. If they're smart, they'll just let it go away.
Yeah.
No need to bring any attention to this at all.
Right.
Nothing to see here, nothing to hear, nothing to do.
So Frame seems to imagine Citizen as an all-encompassing crime-fighting machine that he believes will make the world safer. And
he's like a week from being "I am Batman."
100%.
I am Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Except Batman doesn't need 800,000 people to help him.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a Batman,
he's the Joker. He's the Joker. Yeah, he's unleashing chaos.
Yeah, they're gonna find him in like a year in like a dark apartment.
Yeah,
where just huddled in a corner, just like I am Batman.
Yeah, I mean, because history tells us that if anybody is executing a good sense of judgment, it's 800,000 angry people chasing a man through the woods.
Yeah,
Batman. Batman, Batman, my app will replace you, Batman.
If someone's smart, this is the next one. Like, because imagine Batman having to fight 800,000 guys.
Yeah,
that would be dope. In the woods, he's trying to save the homeless guy, and then
he's a comic book villain.
Yeah.
This guy is a total comic book villain. He's trying to do right, and then like it falls apart on him, so he just goes crazy.
Yeah,
and then he turns into the villain. Because
think about how fun it would be. Like, the faceless goons are all guys with like Oakley wraparounds that usually just make videos in their truck about how there's a Spanish guy moved into their neighborhood. But this is the CEO's other quote. Quote, "Our vision is a global safety network of people protecting each other, a world in which kidnapping is impossible because everyone is looking out for each other and neighbors are alerted as soon as a kidnapping attempt is made."
Yeah, I mean, for all the people that don't want to get kidnapped, I guess, who think about that all the time.
My vision is the United Nations of finding lost pets.
Yeah. It's just so fun. I'm like, it
doesn't even work good because people always will just set off fireworks and you get alerts for gunshots and shit like that.
Constantly. Yeah, people don't know the difference. It's a pop versus a bang.
Boom.
Yeah.
When you can feel the house shake. That's not a gunshot.
Yeah.
It is when I shoot my gun off. It shakes the whole.
I have a flare gun.
I have a small cannon.
Musket over here.
Also, I didn't know this, but when Citizen first launched, it was called Vigilante.
Yeah, I knew that. Vigilante
was
the drummer in the Chuck E. Cheese band.
Yeah, the Italian guy. I'm Pasquale Vigilante. Vigilante was instantly controversial for a variety of reasons. Unsurprisingly, police said the app encouraged vigilantism.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Citizen does too. People are always trying to gang up on there.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with here in LA, and they now have trucks driving around. Apparently, they've gotten into a partnership with some other private security force. So they did solve the mystery because it came out on Twitter. Somebody was just sitting in traffic and took a picture of one of the trucks that was all marked up with Citizen, and it kind of looks like a cop car.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Why does Citizen have cop cars now?" And it turns out that it was some other security team that they've kind of subcontracted. And put logos all over, but still, that's
you see those kind of you see those kind of cars all over the city.
This is like, I mean, maybe in like a small town you could like intimidate somebody, but like in Los Angeles, if some citizen asshole's just like, "Stop! I'm a
security guard.
I'm a security guard." Like, what? Fuck you! No.
Yeah,
he's gonna get shot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shootout.
People are gonna get killed over.
This
for
is
sure.
The stupidest thing ever. Why does everybody there's like this weird subset of men in this country just like, I either want to be a cowboy, I want to be a cop, I want to be a fireman. It's like everything they wanted to be when they were 8 and they just never stopped wanting that.
I think this is like a off break of just idiots who think that the world would be better off if certain people were in jail or dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that happens on both sides of the political spectrum, and it is absolutely insane that either side or anybody would feel that way.
This is one former Citizen employee told Motherboard that a portion of the app's user base is, quote, insanely racist, which comes out in the comment section that are especially vile, even by the standards of the internet comment section. Citizen does moderate comments, but two people having an argument about whether or not someone's comment is racist drives engagement. So they keep that shit on there because keeps people on the app.
Yeah.
So cool.
Which, how are you not on constantly?
Yeah.
Going, where is every crime in the city being...
Who's doing that either way, though? Honestly, who the fuck is going on the Citizen app and being, racist, but then it's like, who's going behind them being like, bro, this is a racist comment.
Hey man, this ain't
Why
fun.
don't you go outside?
It's
you
fun
fucking
to comment.
weirdo.
Well, you can't go outside because there's a guy with a sword out there.
Yeah, that's true. You wanted a fucking McDouble. Too bad, buddy.
There's a man with a flail in the parking lot, and he's also got a horse for some reason.
Like, who's policing the Citizen app? Like, I just need to go on here and tell these racists they're being racist.
Well, you get you turn notifications on, and then when you get a notification that something happened, it'll be like, see, watch out, Mexicans will catch you.
Yeah, but who feels the need to be like, hey, that's not needed here? It's like, my God.
It's a lot of people. We live in a world now where that sort of thing is unacceptable,
like,
Joe.
Just
and I
stop
know
engaging
you like it,
with the crazy people. I would not engage with a crazy person.
And why you're on this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I needed to get my daily walk in. If I don't take a walk, it makes my sciatic go crazy. So Rivers is like, you want to do the podcast? And in my head, I'm like, well, that's half a mile away. So that's my walk today.
Wow.
We're on the way to Griffith Observatory. But yeah.
I wish I could fucking do Griffith hike right now. I would be so happy.
Yeah. We got one, our friend, Dan Finity in Indianapolis sent us one a few months ago. It was a citizen update about a man wielding a witch's stick.
A broom?
That's what we said. I was like, isn't that just a broom? But yeah, so that
could be a magical wand that's a smaller stick than a broom. More scary because those are the ones that cast spells.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, well, I think the idea.
The broom just flies you.
The guy that sees an old lady with a broom, and he's like, it's a witch's stick. Or just a guy who sees a crazy old lady with a regular twig and is just like, it is a wand. There is a crazy lady with a wand on the loose. Be careful. She's either crazy or an actual witch.
You guys know why witches don't wear underwear? Get a better grip on the broom.
Oh,
okay. Gotcha.
Because of their vaginas.
Don't tell people.
It was a man with a witch's stick, though, if I recall correctly.
Okay, well, that joke doesn't apply to the citizen.
So it was
update.
a wizard stick.
Or it was a man who defeated a witch and was just very proud of his accomplishment. Like, I got a talisman. But yeah. So I think that is my favorite citizen update of the whole thing. But I do love the guy.
That's how you know it's like, how would you possibly take this app seriously when there's there's a man with a witch's stick, and you're like, it's done it again. It saved us, Martha. Take that.
Imagine calling the citizen private police and just being like, yo, there's a guy with a witch's stick, and they have to show up and do battle with a fucking warlock. That would be badass. Just all these fat fucking guys who couldn't be real cops just rolling up with their fucking hot dog necks and Oakley wraparounds like, be gone, demon, and holding up crosses and shit.
Where is this witch's stick I have heard of? And then it's just a guy, he's just like, I don't know what a witch's stick is. Yes, you do. Where is the witch's stick? Tell us.
Just like turning them into pigs and bats and shit. Put me back.
It's just some random guy at the park hanging out, and he's just, I had a stick in my hand earlier. It was just a stick, though. It was a witch's stick. Give us the witch's stick.
What if it's just a guy with a cane?
Yeah,
just a walking stick.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a blind guy. He's got the blind cane. It's like, I don't know, it's got a red tip. That means it's a witch's stick.
Fucking insane. There's like no quality control at this place. They're just like, we've heard of this witch's sticks here. Where are they? I mean, it's a taser. I had a taser. No, it's a witch's stick. What is this taser you speak of?
Oh, shit. Well, that's Citizen. I got one more thing to share with you guys. This is from Sam's home state, Houston, Texas. Walmart workers made an unusual discovery at a Walmart store in Southwest Houston Wednesday. Employees found a man hiding in the air conditioning vents inside the store. So
at least you know he was cool.
That's my favorite thing. First of all, immediately King of the Hill, Chuck Mangione vibes. I love that. I was hoping it was Chuck, but it's not. So inside the store on South Kirkwood, a SWAT team was brought in and officers were able to remove the man. Photos of the scene showed an air conditioning unit access panel on the roof that had been breached, and there was also damage to the portions of the ventilation ducts in the ceiling. And the man was checked out by first responders. Yeah, so
I like that they said that it was breached, like he's a diamond thief.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't know he wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
There's probably not a sign there that says don't do that.
He was a skilled jewel thief who was coming for all the cubic zirconium and the Walmart jewelry.
It's really some Metal Gear Solid stuff.
Yeah,
Sneaking in through the air vent.
He thought he was John McClane, you know?
I knew that there was a witch's stick in those air conditioner vents.
I was chasing a witch. You understand?
She changed me into a toad. You don't look like a toad. This was a while ago.
Yeah, she changed me into a raccoon, and I was just exploring the air conditioning
I breached the vents in order to get the witch's stick. Little did they know that I saved everyone here.
I just want to be there in the Walmart shopping when
the vent falls and it's just a guy gets out.
Frankly, yes, that's one of the funniest things. I mean, you know,
you probably thought they were on Jackass.
I was
like,
about.
that's Johnny Knoxville did it again.
I was going to say that's an underrated sketch.
I know this prank.
You don't get me. You don't scare me, Johnny Knoxville.
That is such an underrated sketch in the first Jackass movie, just where they fall out of the air conditioning and I think Johnny Knoxville yells, "The diamonds! Get the diamonds!" And fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
love it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but just to see it, you know, that moment where you'd like to think you would like hear it. You're like looking at, you know, Chef Boyardee or something. You just hear like boom, like that sound of like sheet metal kind of bending. And then you're like, what? And then just a fucking guy just falls down.
This air is really creaky today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's like, thank God I've been lost up there for 300 years.
I was about to say, you're like standing there like, why does the air conditioning air smell like whiskey?
He falls down and has like a treasure map in his hand. So gross.
Where do you sell the Indiana Jones hats?
Oh, the racist lady right down the street. Oh, Lori. Well,
what's the deal with that energy drink? Do we not get to drink an energy drink today?
God, I almost forgot.
Way
Jesus
to go, Sam.
Christ.
Way to go, Sam.
Some of us like the energy drink.
We almost made it through this without having to drink whatever poison.
I fucking oh my God, I'm so sorry.
We got really into talking about Mr. Gaddy's, so I understand.
I know. All right. Well,
I'm still stuck on this witch's stick.
Well, yeah. So for today, we're revisiting. We're daring to revisit a brand that is probably responsible for, I would say, the worst drink of the whole series. But this might be different. This is Celsius. They, of course, made the jackfruit, which is...
Why am I here for all the bad ones where it's just...
We don't know if this is bad.
Is Carter paying you?
Well, so
Carter's drinking a lot of dog shit.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this might be a little better because Celsius, you know, the jackfruit one was the worst. I will say definitively.
Yeah,
we
agree.
I don't think anything could be worse, but maybe this will be better. We hope. Celsius. This is
the jackfruit is the hat works of the.
This one is actually a sparkling white peach, and I think it's supposed to be like a seltzer energy drink.
There booze in it?
I don't think so. It's called Peach Vibe.
I hope there's an energy drink company that makes a flavor called Witch's Stick.
On the back it says, "How does it work?"
Shut up, Joe.
On the back it says, "How does it work?" Celsius proprietary Meta Plus formula, including green tea with EGCG, ginger, and guarana seed, turns on thermogenesis, a process that boosts your body's metabolic
This is what it said on the jackfruit can.
Yeah, oh, is that right? Yeah,
I remember this.
Thermogenesis.
I'm uncomfortable with anything that's like. Let me tell you how this works. Let's just get this out of the way before you pour this into your body.
Joe, this says you should invest in yourself and drink Celsius, and this is, of course, made in Boca Raton, Florida. So
on a houseboat.
On a houseboat in Boca Raton. All right,
one of those fancy
we established this last week. Every energy, all these bougie energy drink companies
are all made by the beach, so they can run. Never mind. It is definitely not a sparkling water. It is PP yellow. So
classic Red Bull PP yellow.
I mean, if that's the color of your PP, you need to go to the hospital.
or drink some more water.
All
or
right.
stop
like a lot.
Stop
more water.
only drinking Celsius.
If this is what your urine looks like,
I gotta say,
you have kidney problems.
Smells good.
It smells good. It smells like peach knee high. So here we go.
It does smell nice.
It tastes like those peach rings.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
pretty
does.
good. Yeah, it does taste like the peach rings.
You almost can forgive them for the jackfruit.
Man.
Somehow
you still can't, but
it's somehow sweeter than the peach candy, though.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the sour.
Yeah. Damn.
It's
this is
okay.
pretty high at the top. I kind of like this. This is nice with it.
It's all right.
Okay. I just can't wait for
I give it 3.5 witches sticks.
Well, personally, I just can't wait for thermogenesis to begin.
You see Rivers get real sweaty.
Yeah.
My thermo
It's time for thermogenesis. And you get the
my
hammer.
thermo is genicizing.
Oh, man.
That was a hammer? That's what a witch's stick is it's a hammer.
It's a hammer. It's a man who twirls hammers.
All right, I don't want any more than a sip. It's too much.
The more you drink it, the grosser it gets.
Yeah, it's way
Yeah.
too sweet. I'm feeling gross.
Shout out to our man Paul in the UK keeping track of all these. I'm going to give this one.
I'm dropping mine to 2.5.
You're dropping yours to 2.5. I will. Yeah.
2.5 witches sticks.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a solid 3.5 personally. 3.5 out of 5.
I sincerely hope he changes the star system to witches stick system.
If I judged this after one sip, it would have probably been like a 4.
Yes, and then it kind of diminishing
the more you drink it, it's
Well,
probably it's closer to what you say, Joe.
Yeah.
A 2.5 or a 3.
I give it a 2.5 witches sticks.
Yeah. But I'll say in the grand scheme of all the ones that we've drank, this one's not like just
No, it's
abhorrent.
not. No, it's not. It's not as bad as
The terrible ones just punch you in the face instantly and then
Right.
leave a terrible aftertaste.
Well, the
in your
worst
mouth.
one, you didn't even need to taste it to know it was bad. The second that shit hit your nostrils, it was just
Oh, the pineapple jalapeno.
yeah, that one was whew,
The
that,
jackfruit was the same way.
Jackfruit,
though.
yeah.
We all reacted strongly to the jackfruit smell.
Oof. Yeah.
you gotta wonder like who's making these, and they had that jackfruit one, and they were just like, well, this is definitely a product.
Well,
we can
jackfruit
sell.
tastes like shit already.
Right, unless it's slathered in barbecue sauce and turned into a
Slow
pretend,
cooked.
slow cooked and turned into pretend pulled pork, then it's pretty good. But outside of that context, no, thank you.
If
Celsius.
your fruit can like be a substitute for pork, I'm sorry, I don't care for that fruit. That's just not a good fruit.
I agree.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, that's our show. Sam, where can people find you online?
Slam harder on Twitter and TikTok, which I forgot to use, so now I don't really use TikTok. But I'm going to get back on it.
Hey, this
I got to get back on TikTok.
you got to capture a bigot exploding their boat. That'll shoot you straight to the top.
All right.
We got to go fishing.
drop me off at the lake and let's see what we can find out.
Joe, where can people find you?
I'm on the old Twitter and Instagrams, Joe MF Rains.
We were hanging out in the backyard with our friend from This Is Rad, Kyle Clark.
Hello.
Hello.
We're in the same place.
Yes.
How wild is this?
I know,
I know
man.
for you guys it never was that strange. 'Cause
Yeah.
You were smart enough to build a compound to support the whole project.
Yeah, we were smart enough to live, in the
Project Mayhem style.
the epicenter of a shanty town in East Hollywood. So we were smart, but yeah, man, it's great to see you. I'm
Likewise.
so glad to see your mom as well. This has been a fun day already. I gotta make a little confession. I lied to the boys. I told them that I was out of drinks that I collected on my road trip. But I was actually saving this
I'm
one
honored.
for a very special occasion. You know, we've been drinking, and this is the other thing the boys might be mad about, but you know what? If they decide to ever listen to our podcast,
Well,
then they'll
I
know to
can't
be
recommend
mad.
that to anybody, though.
Yeah, but until they listen to it, they won't know what they're missing. So we've been drinking terrible energy drinks.
Okay, what has been the worst thus far?
Celsius jackfruit.
Yeah, okay.
It was a smell that was so noxious. Like when we opened the can, and you can hear this on the recording, like we all started gagging. Like it was like it smelled like some sort of body odor, but not necessarily human. Maybe like koala funk or something. Like it was beyond.
Koalas are supposed to smell real bad.
I mean, it was
Passion fruit and taurine don't mix.
It wasn't passion fruit. It was jackfruit.
Oh, jackfruit.
Passion fruit, delightful.
Okay.
Jackfruit is that shit that they turn into fake pulled pork at like vegan restaurants. So it's like a savory fruit.
Like a savory fruit.
Like, I think maybe naturally it's not, but you're supposed to, slow cook it and toss it in barbecue sauce. It's not supposed to be in an energy drink. Because I've had a delicious fake pulled pork jackfruit sandwich. I actually had it when we went and saw Mike Cooley at the Moroccan.
Oh, they had that was a jackfruit
It was a
pork
jackfruit
sandwich.
pulled pork. Like they had other stuff, but I was like, oh, I'll give that a try, and it was great. But that jackfruit energy drink was terrible, absolutely terrible. But for today, so I brought, and I want to say shout out to my friend Miles Bugman, listening out in East Alabama. This is his favorite soda of all time.
Ooh.
He actually considers this like nectar of the gods level.
Okay.
And it is
Super Saiyan Cactus Cooler Saiyan.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so and this is a Sundrop, which is made now by Dr. Pepper / 7-Up, but I believe has its origins in Tennessee, I want to say.
That sounds right.
But anyway, this is no normal Sundrop. Normal Sundrop is kind of like a Mountain Dew type, citrus
interesting.
sort of
this
situation.
has sort of a manzana look to it.
Right, well, this is cherry lemon.
I'm going to be honest.
Sundrop.
That sounds great.
I'm
pretty excited right
I've
now.
had this one. I really was just waiting to reveal it to my favorite West Coast people.
Oh, this is exciting because I love a cherry lemon.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
There it is.
On there, it's got some good fizz going.
Oh, yeah.
Rivers brought glasses and broke them out like we are on a fancy picnic. Well, I mean,
Brand new tumblers.
shall we?
Yes.
Wait, let's get the clink on Mike.
Yeah,
too.
cheers. Boom.
Oh yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yep.
That is exactly what I wanted it to be.
Shout out to Sundrop.
It's a sour Shirley Temple.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Ooh, good call.
That's a weird thing that I really like. The Shirley Temple is still a great beverage.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you turn, 14 and you really got to walk away for a while, but I've been craving one recently.
Yeah. What's the one with the booze in it? Is that Roy Rogers?
I think so.
Something like that. Grenadine and whiskey or something. But yeah, this is a good one. I've actually had this one with gin before.
Yeah, I
and
could
it's
see
fantastic.
this mixing like a little vodka or something being truly a delicious beverage.
Yeah, I think 2 Christmases ago I found some because it's weird.
I could throw some tequila in this. That'd be a party.
Ooh, yeah, maybe so. The range of this, it's weird because you can get regular Sundrop in East Alabama, no problem. It's everywhere. But the range of this specific, the cherry lemon, it is like right about just north of Birmingham. Like it's exactly 2 hours north from anywhere.
I'm checking Amazon to see black market prices here. Okay. Ooh. This is great to know. Cherry lemon Sundrop citrus soda for a 12-pack is only $12.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. 21 for 6 bottles.
You can get it delivered here?
I believe so.
Holy shit. All right.
Oh, only 2 in stock. Better order now.
But yeah, so cheers. We've got our friend Paul in the UK keeping track of all of our beverage consumption.
Thank you, Paul. Doing the Lord's work.
No surprise, I'm giving this 5 stars. This is
It's full 5 stars.
yeah. We've had some rough and rocky beverages in the past.
I had to walk away from the energy drink sampling game and just go look, it's sugar-free Red Bull and that's the lifestyle and that's the end all.
Yeah.
Because you do truly hit some dark times. So my brother has arrived.
Hello. Oh, special guest, Casey Clark. What's up, dog?
How you doing, guys?
Hey, man. Chilling. It's good to see you.
How you guys doing?
Man, chilling. Would you like some Sundrop?
Sure.
Here, I'll just give you the bottle.
All right,
we just
tight.
poured it.
I can do that. I just got off work, so that works.
All right. Tell us what you think.
Delicious.
That traveled 2,000 miles from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hot diggity damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Drove it across the country with a bunch of other energy drinks for some reason.
It's like the worst reboot of Smokey and the Bandit.
Westbound and awake. Westbound and tweaking.
I just like the idea of Jerry Reed looking at the cocaine going, I don't even need it. I'll give it to the dog.
I'm on Ray's Apollo flavored.
Ooh, Apollo as a flavor is an exciting thing because you're just like, there's zero reference point for what is in that.
Oh, well, it had rocket ships. It was like the Apollo mission, So I think
Still not a flavor profile.
Hey, it was America flavored.
Like, I like the idea that it was like, I don't know what that tastes like. Well, rocket ships.
Dumbass.
The tangy fun of a rocket ship.
It tastes like that, you idiot. Hate to say it, but Ray's I got really into. They have a Baja Lime, which is their attempt at a Baja Blast, which
doesn't
not quite there, but close
Baja
enough.
Blast is the way the 20s used to talk about Coca-Cola is how I think about Baja Blast. It's like the two people who have the recipe live on opposite coasts.
Yeah. It's BBB and ABB.
Yeah.
It's a Volta in my life. Everything changes after Baja Blast comes online.
Truly, it was. I
2004, I think.
Just my pupils got small after that first taste because I don't like regular Mountain Dew, but Baja Blast is a kiss from a rose.
It's a magic elixir. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that I might be wrong, but my memory serves. I think it was like summer 2004, right when I graduated high school. We were hanging out in my friend's tree house behind his parents' house that
late
he built.
teen treehouse sesh is interesting.
Yeah, we're all
just full of cigarettes at that point.
100%. Yeah, we're all 17.
That's the reason it exists.
I kept because there was no electricity up there because it was meant for children in the daytime.
Yeah,
not young adults at night. So I ended up bringing my Coleman lantern up there.
That's what you want.
And I proceeded to break the lantern 3 times. And then at a certain point, my dad was like, "Why do you keep breaking lanterns? What are y'all doing?" I'm just like,
you know what you guys should have gotten is bought a couple tap lights. Remember those?
Oh, there's 100 better things we could have had.
Velcro some tap lights around and hit them, and now it's like
yeah, making a little boutique or whatever.
I don't know. I'm trying to fix this space like I'm going to flip the treehouse.
Yeah, it's still there as far as I know. My friends' folks still live at that same address. So hey, mid-30s, time to bring it back.
Oh yeah,
let's cram in that treehouse and really dig down on some Baja Blast.
You remember the Baja Blast slushy?
Oh yeah,
that was the ideal form.
Oh, they still got it.
Hot summer day, but you got a Baja Blast slushy going, and you're just like, nothing can touch me. I am invincible.
Well, speaking of summer, we are knocking
on
at summer's door. This is when I come alive personally. There's a lot of.
I'm already barefoot wearing sunglasses, so it's only up from here.
But we got a question from one of our listeners on Twitter, and I think this is definitely apropos for this season. Our friend Damiana_Democ.
Hey,
shout out, listening in the Sunshine State. What album do you look most forward to listening to on a road trip?
Ooh,
and
that's a solid question.
I got this question last week, and I was like, I'm gonna save that one for Kyle because I think we can really get down on some stuff here.
I feel like there's so many modes because part of it is like me alone versus me traveling with different people.
Ooh, good point.
Because if I'm traveling with you, it's a different run than if I'm in the car with Taylor versus if I'm in the car with Casey.
Yeah.
So but my solo one, if I'm being completely honest with the world, is just a quilt patchwork across America of 90s jams of various types.
Oh, okay.
When I am left to my own devices in my car, I keep thinking it's either Stop Making Sense or 90s jams. That's almost all.
Talking Heads is a good call.
I started this run as I think I'm becoming a big Talking Heads fan till now I'm just like, why do we do other bands?
Right. Well, and Talking Heads, because you bring up a great point, is if you're solo on the road trip, it's gonna be much different. But Talking Heads is one of those bands that's like, if everybody in the car can't agree on Talking Heads,
perfect. Then somebody in that car is a problem.
Get
better people.
Yeah, exactly.
But like if I'm with Taylor, it's my half of it is going to be much. I'm going to do the mellower half, and it tends to. I went through a real big run where I just driving for long periods of time, listening to light bossa nova jazz.
Oh shit! Oh, Stan Getz.
Oh yeah,
João Gilberto.
All over.
Oh man,
just booming all over.
That is my go-to. Chill out.
I write
music.
to it
Yes.
so it's either caustic 90s pop or super chill bossa nova jazz. But then she'll throw in Todd Rundgren and Suzi Quatro and what's the other one? The Suzi Quatro one is the song "Stumbling In," and every time it's a song I did not know existed, and now I've heard hundreds of times.
Hell yeah!
But I love it.
Yeah,
and so a lot of that stuff, and then a ton of old ska stuff, like 60s and 80s ska stuff.
Nice. That works.
When we're My favorite is Driving With You because like you have such immaculate road trip jam.
Oh, thank
setups.
you. Joe Raines was shitting on me at the barbecue.
Joe Raines
I was just
once again is wrong.
I was just trying to play Backwater by the Meat Puppets, and he was like, "This is too 90s."
That's my favorite Meat Puppets song.
Fucking yeah. What?
Why would you?
Everybody tweeted
It's
Joe
the song
Raines.
that justifies getting into them beyond Meat Puppets too.
Yeah, exactly. At Joe MF Raines,
Yeah,
just type
tell him he's
2
wrong.
words. You're wrong.
I love Joe Raines
I do
dearly. He is family.
Yeah,
but in this case and several other cases, he is incorrect.
Yes, 100%. Thank you. Thank you for
Because
picking me up.
we had that run where it was almost all of Charles Bradley's discography.
Sure, yeah.
Followed by I'm trying to remember what it is because it was such a classy like move from one to another. It might have been John Prine. It might have gone
John Prine
from yeah.
St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Yeah.
That's good shit right there.
And so and to me like a good run of like soul music. Oh, another one that has become in my car one is like Mayor Hawthorne. Like that.
Oh, yeah,
I'll do like a weird mix of like Cut Chemist and Mayor Hawthorne.
Oh,
and
there
that's
you
like
go.
a good drive by myself.
Yeah. My answer generally, I mean, Talking Heads is a great answer. I hadn't even thought of that one. If I just need a record to throw on and there's people in the car and it's the summer and we're doing something fun, Guero by Beck.
Yeah.
Unbeaten champion since 2005. Like that record is just perfect.
I saw him. The only time I've seen Beck was on that tour where he had the puppets.
Yeah, I saw that at Bonnaroo. Yeah.
I saw him at the K-Rock Inland Invasion.
Oh, wow.
Which was such an Urtex festival for me because it was pre-first Bonnaroo run.
Yeah.
But then it was like this whole, it had a killer lineup. It was the most 2005 lineup where it's Jet and Arcade Fire. The only time that ever got to happen. And like Garbage Rocked the house, but the best.
One on the way down and one on the way up.
Jet was the greasiest band I've ever seen. Like, and not disparaging their sound. They sounded fine. I owned that record, but they looked like they have never known a shower to away. And I was far away. So I can't even imagine.
They stowed away on a steamer from Australia.
But the only thing I think about from that run is that the Arcade Fire played and broke my brain. It was like, this is okay. There's a reason this band is really breaking the way they are. The History of Merge Records book I'd read a few years ago, they really go out of their way to specifically name that show I was at as the worst experience and their worst live show of all time.
Wow.
So I've for years been like, I should go see them again just to see what a good version is because I was really wowed by that shitty one.
Damn, if that was 2005, I'm sure the ticket prices have gone up a bit.
Dramatically. It's why I've not rectified.
Same.
There was that run where you had to wear formal wear to their shows, and I was like, well, I guess this is a real no shirt, no shoes, no service thing.
Yeah, you mentioned the Brazilian jazz stuff, and this is not necessarily road trip music, but it is fucking great. So I have a thing, and you could probably speak to this as well, where if I'm trying to write, like, if I'm trying to look for news stories for this, for the podcast or just whatever
Can't
I'm doing.
Can't
have words.
Yep.
But I cracked a code, which is that I can't have words in a language I understand.
Exact same.
Because I love the sound of the human voice, but if it's in English, I'm going to be concentrating on lyrics.
Absolutely.
But if you find shit in a different language, baby, that doesn't bother me at all.
The last maybe 5 years, I have really, and I think like Talking Heads is one of the artists that kind of got me going further into, but really like exploring different like world. Like again, I know the term world music sucks, but until we get a better one, but like. Kind of expanding into different world music stuff.
Yeah.
And what's fun is like you really find some shit where you're just like, oh shit, like this rules. And there's like 10 people that do this.
Yeah.
I need all of this.
Oh, so I wanted to shout out / promote here my friend Chandler White, aka Dr. Rock. We have resurrected our college radio show after 10 years, and we're now doing it for free on our Patreon.com.
I was wondering about that, like how you guys were setting it up.
Yeah, well, so iTunes is weird about putting on full songs, and Patreon's still the Wild West. So until they tell me I can't, that's where it'll be. We're actually doing a new one with my friend Johnny Mose, friend of the show, on Sunday. But Chandler got me into this dude. His name is Shintaro Sakamoto.
Oh, wait, okay.
And he has he has a couple of solo albums, but the one I really like is called In a Phantom Mood.
Okay.
And it's like, I think it's from 2018 or something like that, and it's kind of neo-Japanese city pop.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it fucking rules. Like, it is just, it's like this dude, has just been force-fed Michael McDonald's for his whole life and then made this record. So it's like a great, just like smooth fucking 70s rock kind of sound.
Yes.
but it's all in Japanese, so I can listen to it and groove out, and it's very relaxing. Like it's the best. So
I just got to introduce on our Patreon because I like that we both like to treat our Patreon like a legal gray area.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And so we've been doing a lot of like online movie screenings of various levels of legality, and it'll kind of go back and forth. Like sometimes I'll throw ones I want to see, sometimes like the listeners, like somebody will be like, we just watched Arrival because one of our listeners is like, this is the best, and it bothers me you've never seen this because you really gotta. So we like sat down and did that. But I showed a bunch of our listeners Wild Zero, the Guitar Wolf movie.
Ooh,
do you know Guitar Wolf?
No.
Guitar Wolf is this incredible like garage rock Japanese band who record everything super redlined and distorted. Like they're the three members of the band are Guitar Wolf, Drum Wolf, and Bass Wolf. Rest in peace, Guitar Wolf. You died several years ago, but killer fucking band, great records. Well, they made a movie called Wild Zero, and it's bananas.
Ooh.
Aliens cause zombies. Well, a super Guitar Wolf fan is on the way to see Guitar Wolf. And then he meets up with a group of misfits fighting their way through the zombies, and Guitar Wolf he makes it to the Guitar Wolf concert. It's on the way back, and Guitar Wolf becomes his spiritual advisor.
Ooh,
so he appears in visions, and there is a couple of plot twists where you go, oh no, this is about to get 2000s-y, and instead it is a movie that outclasses all modern media in the way it treats some things.
Okay, all right.
And so it's truly one that I really love, and nobody knows.
Damn.
And so it was so fun to show all them, and they're just like, what is this movie?
The other one I wanted to shout out, the Chandler also got me into. Chandler White, fucking if for no other reason, definitely check out our radio show, because Chandler will just turn you on to some shit that you were like, how have I not always been into this? And the other one, speaking of Brazil, is a Brazilian funk artist named DeMelo. It's D-I, new word, M-E-L-O, DeMelo. His self-titled record from 1975 is one of the, like, it is just a pool party in your head. Like when you're listening to it, you're just like, fuck yeah. I don't know. And it's like, I don't know what he's talking about, but it sounds sexy and funky.
Oh, yeah. Like,
so that would be mine.
I really, really was marveling at if you're funky, just the language no longer matters.
No.
Just continue with that bass line and that catchy set of drums, and I will sit here forever.
We can build a Tower of Babel with funk.
With funk.
Yeah.
It's true. Like that. The other one that sucked me in, but it's much more of a like home thing, especially after buying the colored lights that I've bought, is just putting on a 5-hour trip hop compilation.
Oh, that'll work too.
And just letting Blue Spates and Portishead just take me somewhere else. And that's been a real like coping mechanism at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an interesting run musically. I also like found myself playing more and more stuff, and then even beyond that, getting crazy.
Yeah.
I like I've always like I've messed with beats and drum machine stuff for a few years, but really that became a hobby, and then mixing it all together, and then I hooked up with Andy Awancio, and her and I have been like doing some music-y stuff together, and like it's been interesting because you can't jam with people.
Right.
Learning how to like
send files.
Yeah, and even like building rhythm tracks instead of me going, Casey, play some drums. Like,
yeah.
I have such a better sense of like rhythm now from it. And then because I'm getting into these different ways of like putting music together, the music tastes change. And that was part of it too, especially like the, finding any funky world music stuff that I'm just like, oh shit, like this is,
dude,
this
check out that DeMelo.
I'm so excited.
It fucking rules, man. Yeah. I had one attempt at doing some pandemic collaboration, and it was it just really made me confront how I'm like, oh yeah, you're a guy who plays guitar, you are not a musician, because my friend, I mentioned a minute ago, Johnny Mose, he's like an incredible songwriter, and he'll send me stuff, and there was one where he was like, oh, I'd like you to play some banjo on this.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, okay, and I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I don't know what you're doing, but it's not a thing I can do. So
I did have one real revelation. Shout out to Ricky Tienes on YouTube for giving me a new mindset on this. Is I still am not a great piano player. Like I can plink around, I can kind of make shit work, and I can bullshit some chords if I need to, but like not well. but I've gotten way into like the rhythm pads and sequencing and stuff. And he had a whole thing. He's like, look, I'm a professional musician. I do not know how to play piano, but I can program drums and use them as notes like a motherfucker. And I was like,
man.
oh shit,
Perfect.
there's a loophole. Piano players don't want us to know that we can just fully bypass them with a cool robot.
Dude, my friend Connor, after having never played an instrument, bought a piano during all of this. I'd actually be, if you're listening and you did,
My brother's girlfriend did too.
tweet at me. Like, I want to know what people picked up, because that was so funny to me. I realized slowly, I'm like, oh man, everybody copes with boredom in such an interesting way.
I truly figured out that I'm addicted to hobbies, and my
Yes.
room is a graveyard tribute to the ones that fell to the side and what stuck.
Yeah.
The craziest one is like, I have always wanted to like do visual art stuff, but like just never really like was never part of my world.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really know a ton of arty people in that
Right.
vein, but like I have some of those in now, and bought at the very start, maybe June of last year, one book that was like 30 lessons to draw better. And I worked through that, and my drawing got less shitty.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess I'll overcommit to seeing how far this rabbit hole goes. I will show you the pile of art books. There are 3. There is the ones that are useful, the ones that might be useful, and some fucking bullshit I bought off eBay that I'm mad about.
Right.
I think what I'm going to do is, when I'm cleaning shit out, I'm going to do some sort of like raffle thing and like send listeners unused art books I
Oh, there you
no longer
go.
need.
Yeah. I would say I'm a world champion doodler.
There you go.
Like, I am unfuckwithable at Pictionary or what's the one you draw on the Zoom games, or the Jackbox games.
Oh, yes.
That we play on the This Is Rad Discord.
That's been great. Is like you being like one of the ongoing special guests for the games.
Those are
has
so
been
fun.
like so much fun. Like that was a real highlight. Was I had no idea how much fun the Discord Jackbox stuff would end up being.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah. But if you tell me to draw a cow, baby, I can draw a cow, but not like to any realistic degree. I just can. I would be amazing at hieroglyphics. Like, I would have been the all-star of ancient Egypt of like conveying what I am trying to say, but not in a way that anybody would go, ooh, that's impressive. Just like, oh yeah, that does look like a zebra.
Yeah.
You did it.
It became very much a like, well, what am I trying to do with it? And then kind of occurred to that it was I basically put myself in school for a few months, because
Yeah.
it turns out if I don't have anything to do, I will make my own homework.
Yeah.
So that was a lot, and kind of hit like a nice thing. And now it's just like, like some days I'll like just wake up in the morning and do a half hour of that and kind of clear the head or something.
Oh, that's nice.
And so and then from that kind of decided like, I'm going to learn Photoshop, because I need to learn. Actually, it was because I found a poster you made for me at some point. It was like, I should know how to make posters for things. That feels
Ooh.
like a thing a professional should do.
Hell yeah. Which one was it? Was it the?
It was the lion one.
Oh yeah. That's
a
right.
real vintage one. I found a bunch of old stand-up stuff was interesting.
Yeah.
Like just looking back, both like some videos and stuff of acts where I'm like, oh God, I used to not know how to do this at all.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing watching them was like watching me learn how to dress myself. That was the real revelation of all of it. More so than any of the comedy was like, oh, you still look like shit.
Oh, see, I devolved. You remember when I came to town, I just had a mustache and a suit that I would wear, and then slowly now I'm just a trash man, which is fine. I think I don't know. I reached this conclusion, like, I can't do stand up in my glasses. It doesn't work for me for some reason. My batting average is exactly 0. So even if I'm currently wearing them, like, I will put them in my pocket and go up on stage blind as a bat.
And it's funny, the flip, I think I have to keep mine on.
Yeah.
Because I get so wordy. I mean, that's why I had to start dressing up in the first place, was because I wanted to get my stand-up to be a little wordier and smarter. So I had to dress a little smarter. Otherwise, they're like, this idiot doesn't know what that is. He's wearing a Ghostbusters shirt and a flannel. Shut up, old man.
That's so funny, because mine was exactly the opposite. I was like, I feel like they think I'm talking down to them, so I'm gonna just dress like I just rolled out of a turnip truck. But yeah, so I wanted to share a news story with you, and I hope you can relate to this in the way that I did. So this is from Mesa, Arizona. A man is facing felony charges after police said that he used fireworks to destroy 5 mailboxes in Mesa and Gilbert. According to detectives, John Janchik was behind the 4 incidents in Mesa and 1 in Gilbert between March 12th and March 15th. Surveillance cameras caught the suspect's maroon Hyundai Sonata leaving the scene in 3 of the Mesa cases. There's like 2 details that are hilarious in this, and maroon Hyundai Sonata is hilarious,
it's the ultimate getaway car.
It's the ultimate getaway car, but not nearly as funny as the next twist. After searching databases for the car, detectives said they found Jane Chick, had one, and he posted videos on social media making and setting off fireworks. Police said that they used the 40-year-old man's phones.
Wow.
To find that he had been in the area of the first Mesa explosion following a second one in Mesa.
I mean, I feel like they could have just set up a sting and waited for him to buy some teens beer.
Because I was reading and I was like, maroon Hyundai Sonata. And then when I found out he was 40, I was like, of course he's 40. But, until you read that,
blowing up mailboxes via your maroon Hyundai Sonata, you are either under 20 or over 40.
Right, and it's your mom's 40-year-old mother's Hyundai Sonata. That's the only option.
God, that's...
I just was like...
Do you think he just had a lot of fireworks? Like the way you have Dr. Pepper, he had fireworks.
Right, yeah. Someone, for context, someone at a baby shower gave me approximately 1,000 Dr. Peppers. So I just have that now.
I figured via Corona Diaries, anything that happens in your life is just part of the show at this point.
No, pretty much, yeah. I haven't mentioned it yet, but yeah.
That's the level of transparent I have become when I'm not going places or doing things
right.
for podcast content. Got pretty wild.
So after letting him go, police searched his social media again, where they found Jane Chick messaged somebody about how a lot of mailboxes in his neighborhood had been disappearing. Jane Chick was arrested on Friday. During the interview, police said that he told officers he had apologized to the business owner of the first mailbox he blew up and paid him $30 as restitution. And then he confessed to destroying at least 3 more.
What a good shitty amount to give.
$30.
Like an amount of money that just can't fix anything.
And it's an amount of money that means I'm immediately going to tell the cops. I'm we're a no snitching podcast here, but if you confess to me and then give me an insulting amount of money, fuck you, dude.
You better be bringing a Franklin to that party if you think that you're going to get your crime covered up.
I mean, without giving names, I have a friend who recently ran over a mailbox in Opelika, Alabama, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mailboxes are expensive.
It was an accidental running over, but it's a lot of money.
Especially, we just got one of those mailboxes that lock and shit like that. And not even we're paranoid people because we are, but beyond that, it was mostly because it was we have had such a piece of shit mailbox for so many years that was just constantly about to fall off. This had the thickest base of any mailbox we could find. We're like, this thing's not going nowhere.
So he was booked in jail on 5 counts of first-degree burglary, disorderly conduct, and 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs. So,
what drugs do he have, you think?
Unspecified. I'm gonna guess meth, because the meth explosions tend to go together like peas and carrots.
Yeah, it's the serial arson doesn't feel very opiate-y.
No.
That's more crash into parked cars move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's no intentional crimes really with the opium necessarily.
Yeah, it's I laugh. I just had my bottom wisdom teeth pulled. I had the top pulled years ago, but literally by 2 weeks past my vax went up, and I immediately had my wisdom teeth pulled and was out for a week.
Oh shit!
But I got a letter recently from insurance that was like, "Hey, we saw you got some opiates. Please don't get addicted to those."
That's what they're doing now?
Yes, I got a note that said, hey, you've had them for 2 weeks. Hopefully you haven't felt a crippling addiction in that time.
Gone over the cliff yet.
We, of course, use our addiction calendar based on what William S. Burroughs used to say in interviews. Because he used to say, you got to do it at least 5 times before you're really addicted. And College Kyle was like, good to know.
God, I was just talking about this. I cut my foot on a broken bottle in a lake when I was 14. And granted, it hurt when it happened, but after they cleaned it up, sewed it up, that was the shittiest part. Was getting it cleaned out and sewed up. And after that, honestly, I didn't even use crutches. I was just because it happened on the inside of my.
Oh, so you can kind of.
So I could kind of walk on the outside edge of my foot. I went to school. Everything was normal. They gave me 50 Loratab. This is
Christ.
2001.
That's. We didn't know how good we had it in the 2000s if you wanted constant painkillers being sent your way.
It didn't even hurt. And they gave me 50 of those fuckers. I had those Loratabs just till college.
Yeah.
Like I still had them, I think, my sophomore year, like a couple left over from my freshman
whatever you
year
did
of high
need to
school.
sell for book money.
Right. Like I just didn't, obviously didn't get addicted to them. I just used them practically whenever something sucked.
Were you ever offered painkillers instead of money for anything you've ever done? Because I definitely have more than once.
No, I'm trying to think. No, not recently.
I once was offered painkillers as payment for being a designated driver.
That's a good deal.
That was you goddamn right it is.
If you get me back to the house, then you can have your fun.
It was if you get us to this party, we're gonna give you a bunch of drugs. I was like, this has to be more expensive than a cab.
Did you ever have any fireworks shenanigans as a kid?
I love me a firework. My most fireworks shenanigan thing of my life actually happened when I was 24. Okay. So it was 4th of July, years before we started doing the party here.
Sure.
I would go, my buddy Bearman has a compound in town up in the mountains.
Sure, Bearman.
A lot of fun sentences there.
Yeah.
And so, I spent a lot of time on the compound. I shot my first short film on the compound. The compound was a fun place. I could do a whole episode about the compound one day, really.
Can Bearman come to the party? I want to meet Bearman.
I think you may have met Bearman before. His real name's Kevin. He's a professional sound guy, but he's always been Bearman to me. And those weird ones, I've known him my whole life, so I know him as Bearman, and then I meet his real friends in the world now where he works with them and they respect him.
Oh, sure.
And they don't know they call him Bearman. But crazy. His dad built a ride. I got to tell that story at some point where he literally had a big wooden shed on hydraulics and they shot video on a drone and then had the hydraulics run in time to the fucking drone video.
Oh.
And it was the size for 3 kids and a dad who runs the hydraulics to sit in there. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
But on this particular occasion, we'd do 4th of July because you could go up into the hills and there was this big ass rock and they do a big fireworks display near the Parks and Rec Center. And it's it becomes real impossible to get anywhere near it.
Yeah.
But we could see it from there. So usually you'd sit up there and then people can just sit and drink beer and smoke cigarettes and watch fireworks.
Yeah.
And this year we're sitting up there, we're getting ready for the fireworks to go. One firework goes up and then about all the rest of the fireworks go on at the same time underneath the tree line.
Yeah.
And then there was silence and then there were sirens. And we're like, I don't know. I feel like the show was a little short this year.
Yeah.
And I guess what happened is the first one went off and it knocked over the table so that it fell on its side and then fired all of the fireworks at the audience that had shown up to watch it. And so it was this whole crazy, nobody died, there were some injuries, but everybody got very lucky. It was not, but it was terrifying. That's some crazy shit. But cut to, now there's no fireworks. We got fire lust. So what are we going to do? We're going to stand in an empty dry brush field, drinking vodka and shooting Roman candles at each other.
Sure, yeah.
And, there was a lot going on that night. I guess it was a real, chaos evening. But eventually cops drove past and got out and didn't even get out of the car because there was something else that was being called in and something else was on fire. But they looked at us did you learn nothing from today? And then drove off. and then we realized we should probably stop. So we finished them off and then went back.
I've never blown up any mailboxes, but
blown up a mailbox.
I have done drive-by bottle rocketing.
Yeah.
Which we figured out, around senior year of high school that first of all, you always buy Black Cat bottle rockets because those have the most reliable fuses.
Black Cat's a quality product when it comes to explosives.
100%. Yeah, you get the gross and they got actual reliable fuses. None of them are going to blow up inside your car.
Which is a real clutch thing when you're firing stuff from your car.
Yeah, yeah.
It needs to blow up outside.
Right. And we would get small copper tubes. And
that's
then
so smart.
We would get a bottle cap and put it on the end and then duct tape the bottle cap so the tube is just open on one end. And what you can do...
That's some 17-year-old engineering.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the best.
If your teacher asked you to build that, you'd fail. But if it might hurt someone or piss someone off, you produced an entire run of them with Mark II variations.
Yeah, yeah. I never fired it at anyone without... this is what we're doing, permission, because we would just go out to my friend Madison's cabin and there was a big cow pasture out there and then we would line up Revolutionary War soldiers and fire, and it was about the same rate of fire as a musket from that time period. You'd light 2, pull them up, drop them to the bottom of the tube, and then you could aim it. We never did figure out how to rifle the barrel of the tube.
Which would have been cool. That would have been...
I mean, hey, I know we got some smart-ass people that listen to the show. If you can tell me how to rifle a copper heating tube, let me know.
Because we will do that as Patreon content.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, this is rad versus the Goods from the Woods bottle
in
rocket
Revolutionary War mode. I like it a lot.
Oh fuck! But yeah, we would. So that was the genesis of that idea was we did it because we would basically drive around to our friends' houses and shoot. I had a 1991 GMC Jimmy.
Hell yeah!
And you could take it had a sunroof. Which not to be confused with a moonroof. A moonroof is the one that goes all the way back. The sunroof is just the one that pops up slightly. But with mine, you could just take it out. So I would take the sunroof out completely.
Now you've got a gunner position.
100%. Yeah. So we'd roll up on a friend's house and like try to fire a bottle rocket as close to their bedroom window if we knew where it was, and then pop it, and then we would honk a bunch and drive off, and then call them on the cell phone and be like,
"Shut your house,
you suck."
You know how they do those videos where they like add blood to like Marvel movies and shit?
Oh, my favorite is Home Alone with blood.
That's a real good one. The one I now need somebody to make for me is Revolutionary War reenactment footage, but where there's fireworks.
Yes, yeah, there we go. But there was a kid whose name was Derek. But a friend of mine could never remember his name was Derek, and so he started calling him Daryl Kid, and then just everyone called him Daryl Kid. And we decided to shoot a bottle rocket at Daryl Kid's house at about,
I like that you were like, Crazy Bear Man. What kind of name is that? When your friends are like, Bug Man in the Chunk. Like,
oh, you don't fuck with the Chunk.
But in the second issue of Analog, I have built a drug-dealing alien named the Chiz.
Oh.
And what started off as a one-line joke, really by the end of that, I'm just like, the Chiz got a future in this book. Like, I got Chiz fever now.
Well, we roll up to Daryl Kid's house, and Daryl Kid's house was completely dark. There was no lights on in the home at all. And so we start lighting the firework, and then my friend goes out the sunroof and starts to aim it, and then we hear just out of the darkness, "I see you! I see you!" And the firework shoots and explodes, and we see the silhouette of Daryl Kid's mother, who was sitting in complete darkness on the porch for God knows what reason. And
that's none of your business.
And then she was just hollering, and we were like, "Oh fuck, go." So that's the closest I've come to blowing up a mailbox.
All I can say is that was the weirdest episode of Daryl's house I've seen.
Well, I mean, there was a time where Daryl lit some was it brake fluid on fire while his brother was inside the car that was broke down in the backyard.
Damn.
Like his brother was like, he's like, "One of these days we're gonna get this car working," and it was just like some shitty like Mach 2 or something from the 80s, and Daryl Kid. His brother Justin Kid was in the car, and then Daryl Kid poured out some. It was either brake fluid or carburetor cleaner or something, and basically poured it out on the ground with the window, the windows down, and then he lit it on fire while his brother was in the car, and the flames just started coming up towards the window, and Justin Kid had to escape out the other end.
Damn.
It was real over at Daryl Kid's house, man.
Love that stuff.
Yeah.
That's those grand late teens, early 20s where you're just like, we're wanting destruction is just around you if you want it to be.
This was when we were 15. I think it could only, I guess when I turned 16, we just started shooting bottle rockets out of the car. But
you went from regular fire to more organized fire.
Yeah. The chaos gets a little bit more organized.
Oh, yeah,
when
you definitely.
You're 16.
I had a friend who had an industrial laser pointer.
Ooh,
like the ones that astronomers use.
Yeah.
And exclusively would wait until the middle of the night and then spray it or shoot it into the upper bedrooms of random houses. And it was green, so people just panic because the aliens have finally come.
Or it's a late 90s WWE show.
Oh, there you go, yes.
Yeah. And they won't stop hitting Road Dogg in the face with the laser pointer. I got one last story that I wanted to share with you. This is from Highgate Springs, Vermont.
Ooh.
A Montreal woman has been arrested on charges of trying to cross the United States border into Canada with, quote, numerous undeclared wildlife items. These include a 3-toed sloth, 18 crocodile skulls, and 7 crocodile feet. So the voodoo woman is just trying to get home. You got to let the voodoo woman go home.
Are there famous stories of illegal sloth and crocodile wrestling going on? Like, are these trophies like that sloth is the predator?
I don't know this for
Take
sure.
the skull and feet from your felled foes.
I don't know this for sure, but I feel like I could beat a sloth. If it's a wrestling match, I think I've got the sloth's number. Maybe.
Cut to though that the sloth is wearing like jean shorts and a cutoff shirt, like it really came to fight.
The federal complaint says the boutique owner was also in possession of 2 horseshoe crabs, 23 raccoon feet, 8 African antelope horns, and 1 human skull. I feel like they buried the lead.
Yeah,
I feel like the human skull should probably be the first thing that you're worried about over the 3-toed sloth.
I guess if you're putting it in the Cola War spot, and so like it is the most emphasis. Boutique owner, is the boutique animal remains?
Yeah, the boutique is the scariest place you've ever been.
Well, I've been to many, believe it or not, I've been to many stores that sell weird dead parts and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
Next to the East Room in Nashville, there's a store that sells dead animal, like stuffed animals and stuff.
Right.
So the idea, the volume, the fact that she went to like the Oriental Trading Company to get her alligator feet.
Right. And raccoon feet. 23 raccoon feet.
Usually people are buying raccoon penises, not raccoon feet.
Yeah.
I had a nickel for every store I've been into that thinks they're blowing my mind because they think they're the first people who've shown me raccoon penises.
Yeah. Also,
You think this is my first raccoon penis rodeo person who runs this store?
Also, that's 6 raccoons, but she's missing a foot. If there's only 23, what happened?
That is weird.
What happened to the other foot?
Yeah, odd number feet is a weird call.
Yeah. The Lacey Act. I love that there is a.
Thank God.
Yeah, the Lacey Act prohibits the trafficking of items that come from endangered species, and all wildlife must be declared to the Fish and Wildlife Service upon import. So,
I mean, this is real early pandemic, but like exotic animal ownership is weird.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't fully understand it.
Go listen to our episode on the Tiger
Our
King.
magnum opus, where you get the return of Today We Learn.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to do Dig next.
Please get me in for that. I have so many feelings about Dig.
Yeah? Dude,
oh, my fucking God.
Oh, let's do it.
Never have I turned on a movie maybe harder.
Really?
I saw Dig 5 or 6 times in high school and college.
Yeah.
I like the Danny Warhols. I like the Brian Jonestown Massacre. I like rock and roll and things like that.
Right, yeah.
Watching it as a 2000s era aspiring musician, it was very fun and exciting.
Yeah.
I watched it maybe 5 years ago because Meltdown used to have like a movie night where they'd show like documentaries and art house movies and shit like that. And they showed Dig and I was all hyped. And I found you really understand the evolution of the economics of the music industry when you watch Dig in 2018.
Yeah.
Because things that seemed kind of fun or cool are now so infuriating. Like the fact they shot a $5 million David LaChapelle shot music video that they just didn't release.
Oh my God.
Like, and there's so many weird things where like you just watch how much money there used to be in music, and it's just so crazy because you're also like, maybe it was good this went away because this all happened.
God, I'm excited. I haven't watched it since like 06 or whenever it came out.
Let me know because it's gonna break your brain.
Okay, all right.
We've started to figure out how to do commentaries even via Zoom.
Ooh, yeah.
We did Rockers, the reggae movie with my buddy Brandon Nisnik and his buddy Nate, who does Black Market Dub. And that was super fun just to have 2 crazy knowledgeable like musicians run through because like everybody in that movie is a famous studio musician. Like there's 2 guys who are in a scene. He's like, these are the 2 most played session musicians in the history of music.
Oh,
he's like these 2 guys have played drums and bass together on 1,000 and something songs.
Oh, my favorite part of Dig is just Harry Dean Stanton randomly shows up at one of the shows. He's just hanging out. So
what a gift he is. I started one of my sanity things. So we went into a deep ISO in November, like when things got real bad because my folks are diabetic and all of that kind of just a lot of stuff. So we doubled down.
The month of November is what led me to stay in Alabama until March. Yes. I was like, oh, LA seems fucking crazy.
No good. Don't do it. And so I had to figure out a thing. And so what I came up with was Midnight Movie Club, where every Thursday night I sit down at exactly midnight and I make my room like it's a movie theater. And I have a program list that right now runs through September.
Oh, shit.
So that I've got them all going. But like Stop Making Sense was on there at one point, like, because I'd never seen it from front to back.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'd known runs of it, but like had never seen it as a piece and was like, oh, fuck me, it's even better.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a perfect thing that exists.
Yeah.
But I did like I've had Harry Dean Stanton keeps popping up, and I'm I feel like I've spent a lot of weird nights with Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, I've got my. We usually do Thanksgiving over at Joe Rain's house. Didn't do it last year for obvious reasons, but my typical playlist of movies I put on is I've got the before dinner when everybody's chatting, and then I throw it over to Joe for after dinner, and that's usually Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then I think the last time we did it was Uncle Buck. It's usually some
variation of John Candy films. The Great 100%. Outdoors has shown up before. I can only assume.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. I think 2018.
Brewster's Millions.
Yeah. These are. Yeah. I mean, I love all these movies, but those are Joe's selections. But before the dinner and during when people are mingling about, my idea is put on a some kind of music thing that everybody so you can have music in the background and something on the screen. So we always rock with Stop Making Sense, into Blues Brothers, into The Last Waltz. That's
the holy trinity.
Yeah.
So Taylor, my girlfriend's favorite movie of all time is The Blues Brothers.
It might be. I mean, it's close to mine too.
We've been doing cultural exchanges back and forth. We kind of trade movies back and forth through all this, and it's been fun because there's a ton of shit that I'd never seen that she's way into, and a ton of shit that she'd never seen. So we did Blues Brothers, and that was fun. I had never seen Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, Christ.
That movie's kind of great.
I haven't seen it.
I would say give it a rewatch because it's actually pretty good.
Okay, all right.
I feel like when it came out, America was not ready to have that kind of fun because I believe it came out
it was 1997.
We didn't even have a 9/11 under our belt.
Yeah,
we were just a bunch of snot-nosed teens.
We just had the Olympic Park bombing.
Yeah, we're like, oh,
Oklahoma
man.
City.
But it is a goddamn delight, and I had avoided it for years thinking it was going to be done. Even the kid in it isn't in it that much.
Right.
John Goodman's great in it. They really there's a Kenny Wayne Shepherd has a pretty good song in it. But the highlight of it is all of the original band are back, and again forced to have extended scenes of dialogue.
Right.
So watching that when they're just the SNL band kind of burnt out doing dialogue the best they can on that much cocaine. It's kind of noble. In this one, they're really earnestly going for it. Certain members of the band are making it, and some of them aren't. And that as a subplot is also worth watching.
All right. Damn, that might. We might have to break from Mechanical Animals format to
there we go. Okay, so we
do Blues Bros 2000.
We've missed some good ones, but there was always more time for Mechanical Animals.
Yes. We'll have to get Carter back out here.
I'm so glad I went to. I saw First Cow the day before my work shut down and before movie theaters shut down. First Cow. It's it came out at the beginning of the year. It's Kelly Reichardt, and it's a period piece about guys living or people in rural Alaska. I think it is territory in 1900, and the first cow ever has been brought to the territory.
Oh, damn. You broke my heart because I was thinking it was the first cow to be married to a president.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you can still do movies that have the same title. But
all right. First Cow 2, completely different. Now
exactly. See, there you go.
Now it's about the president is married to a cow.
It's doubles as a fun Black Mirror episode. It's great. But because had I not gone to that, I believe the last movie I would have seen in theaters was Doolittle. Or no, Call of the Wild, whichever one we saw last.
I think it was Call of the Wild, yeah. Buck.
I also love our ongoing thing of Mechanical Animals where we keep thinking we're going to dunk on a movie and then it's better than we thought.
It's pretty good.
That was the funniest thing was that we failed 3 times in a row to be as hateful on a thing as we thought. Cats being the closest, but again, just...
Yeah, exactly.
Any fight I have with this film is just with the play. It's not the film's fault that it's the play Cats.
Oh, man. Well, last thing here. Kyle, are you ready for our jam of the day?
Oh, I'm pretty excited right now.
Oh, there it is. Of course, the unmistakable opening notes of Sir William Joel's Piano Man.
Okay.
You hear it?
I do.
It's wafting through the Simi Valley air.
I would say this is one of 4 Billy Joel songs I know, if I'm being super honest with you. So it's this, Uptown Girl, We Didn't Start the Fire, and Why Should I Worry?
Oh, you don't know Scenes from an Italian Restaurant?
I have heard the song Scenes from an Italian Restaurant once, and it was sung by comedian Paul Sebus at a karaoke bar. I was then told that it's a Billy Joel song.
I would pay to see that.
It was pretty excellent.
Fuck, I haven't seen Paul Sebus in forever.
He really crushed it.
That would be delightful. I love that. That's Billy Joel's favorite song, apparently, of his.
I could see it. It's as close as he ever got to making that musical.
Yeah, well, no, he made a musical.
He did?
Yeah, Moving Out. Anthony's theme. Yeah, there's a musical called
Truly
Moving
know
Out.
so little about Billy Joel. I think that there's no greater testament to how much I am from the West Coast in that is an entirely empty like part of my brain.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Like, it's funny because like my dad has this album. He has the first album, Piano Man. I don't think he goes much outside of Piano Man, but he's from Staten Island, so he's
there you go.
one island over from Long. No, I'll say this about Billy Joel though. That was the only record my dad had of his. And my mom's from the South, so we didn't have a.
She's like, I'm not doing that shit.
Limited Joel exposure.
She's like, I got Merle Haggard. Fuck off.
Shit. My mom's music is mostly fourth round eliminations from American Idol.
Okay.
A lot of.
So I always would have seen her as like a Carole King lady.
No, she's not like a huge music person.
Okay.
Like, me and my dad are the ones that really get down on the music thing. My mom is like, she did buy David Archuleta's CD when it came out. He was a fourth round elimination American Idol, like 2008.
That's like a whole world of like music that there are people who like only listen to.
Yeah. She bought all of the individual artists featured on Pure Moods in the 90s.
Ooh, okay.
So she had
So
Amadeus
Enigma?
and yep.
Return to innocence.
Yep.
Oh, like man, if I had I have a real soft spot because I would say there are probably 5 different movies from the 90s that I like where that song plays over the resolution at the end of the movie.
Man of the House with Jonathan
that's
Taylor
one of them.
Thomas and Chevy Chase being the one I remember. That's where I heard that song. That was just the Man of the House song to me until Pure Moods came out. But yeah, so let's get down into these comments. Let's see what the people are saying
You want to
about
hang for these comments, Casey?
about Piano Man by Billy Joel. Oh, we've got once again, special
grab a spot
guest.
and we'll share a mic here for these comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a relationship with Piano Man that I don't know about as someone who lives with you?
Well, you're a musician. You've lived this life. You know Davey, who's still in the Navy. You know the smell of the microphone, and it smells like a beer.
Yeah.
You know these things, Casey. This is your life as a bass man and a drum man and a music man in a general sense.
It's true.
So yeah, let's get down to these YouTube comments. First up, Dan Bad Nod Nib B from 19 hours ago.
19. This was today.
This is yesterday, 19 hours ago. 69. That's it. That's
like
the
that
whole
one.
comment.
I appreciate that.
Just wanted you to know.
What do you think the high-low of that person being at work was?
I hope if he's at work, he's listening to it on speakers.
See, I hope he's actually playing the piano and just doing a set break. Man, I relate to this, but you know what else I like? Mutual pleasure. Stephen Maines from 2 weeks ago. When are women gonna stop with their nonsense? Just love the man you're with, for God's sakes.
That divorce is going rough.
No clue what that has to do with.
COVID divorce.
He's having a really hard time right now.
Ronnie Reagan.
Francine!
Oh, there's a lot of that.
Don't leave!
There's a whole lot of that happening. Ronnie Reagan from 4 weeks ago. And I wanted to say, this joke got repeated so many fucking times in this comment. Like, people, comedians get up in arms about people stealing their jokes. YouTube is the land of stolen jokes. One person will say it and get 1 million likes, and then they just copy and paste and put it everywhere.
That said, the funniest thing, the thing that has made me laugh the hardest in the last decade was a YouTube comment.
What's that?
It was for the band Casey Jones, who are a straight edge hardcore band.
Oh, okay.
And one of the comments was, God, somebody's got to call a doctor because this band is incredibly sick. And it is all caps for the second half. Like, they made it so you read it properly, and I think that probably once a week.
It has to be. Like, it can't not be in all caps. Like, it's required by law.
The
By
main
straight edge law.
The main one I always see is someone goes, if this isn't playing at my funeral, I'm not dying. that you'll see that on every fucking song.
Nice.
But this one is specific.
The CNH Sugar song. This isn't playing at my funeral.
But this
I don't
one,
hear Underdog.
This one is specific to Piano Man, and I saw this everywhere, so I just picked a random one. Ronnie Reagan from 4 weeks ago. For a song called Piano Man, the guy with the harmonica won't shut the fuck up.
He's right.
Yeah, he's got a good point there.
And I included it it's, like I said, it's a big stolen hacky joke, but I included it for this response from Don Smith 2 weeks ago. All these comments about how this song is about the harmonica player, not the piano. Most people must be tone deaf. The piano plays through the entire song with some splashes of harmonica, okay? I bet none of these armchair critics can play either part. They probably don't even know which key of harmonica is being used, or the fact that there is a different harmonica for every key. They might guess that it's the key of C, but I doubt they can hear it, and they probably don't know what diatonic even is.
I just have to say that this is essentially a real conversation I heard when I was working at a jazz club many years ago. Yeah. But like, make the person like in their mid to late 40s.
Oh, I'm positive that is Don Smith's age here.
It falls into one of my favorites. That's such a double-edged argument. Is always the you don't even know how to blank.
Right.
Like, but which makes sense for a second, which is usually then followed by the fact that you're like, well, wait a minute. You shouldn't have to have a license to consume a random product. Like, if the idea that like you can only listen to full band music if you learn to play bass, drums, and guitar. So help me, you better take them vocal lessons if you want to hear that Led Zeppelin.
All musicians have to submit a resume and a letter and have references for every band that they've ever been in.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you can make me sympathetic to a joke thief, you are a nerd. You are a fucking nerd.
I also like. That's such a great example of why I can't be on the internet.
Oh, this whole exercise is really, I feel like doing a public service. We read these comments so people don't have to.
I've learned that like my understanding of the internet is fundamentally failed because there is nothing I can think less desirable than leaving a comment anywhere under any reason for anything.
Right.
So when I see people post a comment, I'm like, God, think about the conviction they have to have taken time out of their day to write that down and think it out and then put it out to be publicly read by anyone that wants. That must mean they truly believe in what they're saying. And it turns out I'm wrong.
Oh, well.
And my understanding of the internet is completely failed.
Well, brace for this one. Brooke Ferguson from 8 months ago. I am going to work on reporting from a professional job for keeping my secret safe. This place near you guys, you're my team of friends. I should be a good friend to help them and understand the difference between them. All I have is a job interview with John. It's my responsibility to never let anyone know who I am. Is my team going to help me cure the twins? Get their blood pressure from your body recovery process for the heart disease? I can move more quickly when you get a concussion diagnosis from your leg injury. Your blood transforms into your heart to prevent vomiting on the blood bag. I work for hours without having your heart broken to sleep until you can find it and control it. My responsibility is never let anyone know my personal private responsibilities for making my own decisions. My job is important for me since I moved to this job for me when I was a teenager. Now I can do whatever. I want my first day of work and my responsibilities never taken away from me. My responsibility is the best part about this.
I wish they could see our faces
Sing
as
us
that
a song
kept
on
going.
the piano, man.
Like, on the other hand, if that were like a weird horror book, I would keep reading.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a YouTube comment, much more distressing, but somehow scarier.
Yeah, it's so like, it's one of those things, like, it's just very straightforward, but you have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. Like, it's written in very, like, full sentences.
Matter-of-factly, it's very informative for being the least informative thing I've ever heard.
Like, you
don't know what they're talking about.
No.
It creates the illusion of coherence.
Yeah, well, we've had a long-standing theory with these that a lot of Russian or perhaps other countries do spy communication through YouTube comments. And so it's a code to be deciphered by another Confederate undercover in another country somewhere.
I buy that.
You know, that's
for some reason I buy that.
You know.
See, I also know that there's like the whole like system of like just like review bombing stuff like on the comments section.
Right.
But and at a certain point you just kind of get bored and get weird with it.
Adam Dreyer from 2 weeks ago. Funny story. Billy was at my sister's christening over in Centerport in the late 90s. Now in the summer, I run into Billy smoking cigarettes down by the dock where he goes for his motorcycle rides to Northport. If you want to run into Billy Joel, just hang out in Northport in the summer.
You know that there is a similar instructions like this for Tom Waits, right?
Yeah, Los Feliz,
Like,
most days.
It used to be when he lived up in NorCal, there was one grocery store.
He was in Santa Rosa because I used to have a bunch of friends that lived up in Santa Rosa when I was touring still.
Yeah.
And like they would just They would just talk about like seeing Tom Waits in the grocery store was like, it was like seeing like Mew from Pokemon in the wild. Like where it's just like, it feels like it's not real.
I just am kind of mad at Adam for blowing up Billy Joel's spot.
Yeah, definitely not a bro.
Do you know how long it takes to find a place to smoke cigarettes by a dock? You know?
It really does.
Yeah.
Because especially nowadays, like because of, just the way things have gone, like you can't smoke anywhere.
Where people won't bother you.
Yes.
Like Billy Joel probably tried to find this spot for years. And also, I just love that it's probably not Billy Joel, but this guy's like, oh, it's totally Billy Joel smoking cigs out there.
There's a cool longshoreman who just says he's Billy Joel.
Right.
I also could 100% see Billy Joel being
That's
like a
the other
closet
thing.
smoker.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
absolutely
Oh,
could
there's
see
no question that part. I never even questioned that. I just love that this continues. Like Billy Joel hits the same level as Bruce Springsteen, where people are like, they got a side job. He's a longshoreman. He's working in a garage. Like these guys.
Anthony Craig, 2 weeks ago, I was playing Piano Man this one time at a tavern, and I shit my pants. Embarrassing.
That's the best one so far, really.
You guys should probably get him on the show.
Thank you, Anthony. You've done it.
Think he did that Gethard podcast?
It's been on Marin.
Wait, does Gethard have a podcast?
Gethard used very briefly had a podcast. I believe it was Chris Gethard about people just came on and told stories when they shit their pants. That was in that real early days of podcasting where you could sort of do anything, and those included stories about people shitting their pants.
Nursery Ram 3 days ago. I was at school one time, and a substitute math teacher sang It song. It made time say that. I love the song. Also, my cat is 21 years old. She's gonna die soon. I may put the song on.
Who are these people?
Also, like, what lifestyle did you make your cat lead that it like lived to be 21 years old? Like, that's like a big question for me.
I bet that cat's in such good shape.
Just a steady diet of rats and birds and Piano Man.
Still cigarettes somehow.
And cigarettes. The cat smokes cigarettes by the dock.
The cat is actually who rode the motorcycle to the dock. That other person thinks Billy Joel is a cat, which doesn't even make sense because he played a dog in Oliver Company.
Forgot about that completely.
I didn't because I watched it during Q, and it's still not great.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I do get mad though now that he works the word savoir-faire into a children's Disney song, only because it rhymes with care.
Kingsley Milden from 1 week ago. I always listen to this song whenever I'm drinking gin, and that's every day. Oh, la, 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 la.
Finally, a comment that's appropriate.
Yeah, this is like a real good comment.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
Yeah, shout out to Kingsley. You get it.
Kingsley would go, "What's YouTube?
How do I get to the tube, you?
I don't have an account on there. What are you talking about?"
Chris Boardman from 1 week ago.
Calls
Nowadays,
YouTube the Netflix. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Chris Boardman 1 week ago. Nowadays, John would be sacked just for telling a joke. Giving away alcohol. He'd get arrested for smoking in the pub. This world's fucked.
Just a quick aside, just on smoking in a bar. I don't want to blow anyone up, but I had a drummer of a side member of the Beatles' other bands at a Play Doh show one time. And
Wait, what?
It was Ringo Starr.
Yeah, it was Ringo Starr. It was a drummer of a member of the Beatles' other band.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go too much deeper than that, but he showed up.
Is it Wings or Plastic Ono Band?
It's a band that
It might be Wings, but it might not be.
I was about to say it's a band that is flight themed.
Okay, all right.
That isn't Wings.
And
Wow.
so he showed up to the club, and we're talking. It's me and my boss and him and his band, and we're talking about, this is your green room, this is everything else. He's like, okay, cool. And then he pulls out a fat envelope and hands it to my boss and said, "This is the fine for smoking cigarettes indoors in California. I'm just going to give it to you right now because I'm smoking in the green
Oh,
room."
that fucking rules.
Dave Chappelle does it too. But like I love that too, where they're just like mad that the song that's creating a romantic vision that never was. You can't even have a bottle of red and a bottle of white. They won't let you.
Hixie from 2 months ago. Look at description. Uploaded in 2013. R.I.P. my brain. OG Angry Birds and Angry Birds Epic. The picture you see when watching this video, is what my microwave sees at 3 a.m.
I mean, again, that feels like it should be a YouTube comment. It's a little bit about it. They were kind of drunk when they put it in there.
I'm such a big fan of R.I.P. my brain.
I mean, every comment on here is there's some level of drugs or alcohol involved.
Let's back up real quick. Let's not forget that when he was listing the good times to be had in 2013, Angry Birds and Angry Birds Epic both made the list, but not Angry Birds Star Wars. So he's got like a real, he's like, I only want in continuity bird games.
He really only liked the early stuff. He felt like they kind of sold out later on. when the Angry Birds were real.
Chris Welcome from 9
Josh Gad ain't my Angry Bird.
Chris Welcome from 9 months ago. The part about wearing a younger man's clothes, it's always stuck with me. Even though I hate my father and we haven't spoken 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
That's a COVID comment. That's 9 months ago. That's like he's having a real bad time. That's a window into a real tough time for someone.
I don't know what to put as my username from 8 months ago. I just finished.
If we're being real, that's a solid username.
I just finished 4 hours in the rain with my best wide receiver. I'm the quarterback and my feet are bruised. Can't even walk. And now I'm playing this in my room in my wet football jersey. It's like, bro, you're going to get pneumonia.
Also, he finished his game and was like, I got to write a hyper-erotic comment on this Billy Joel song I'm listening to. Who's that comment for? Is it for Billy Joel?
I think a lot of people think this song is for Billy Joel. Or these comments are for Billy Joel. He's going to read every one of them.
BJ's checking them.
Yeah.
I got a couple more here. Michael Riley from 2 months ago.
Is his name William Joel then?
Yeah. Huh. That's still my favorite joke from The Office is when Dwight refers to him as Sir William Joel.
Oh, there we go.
Michael.
This is always 10 steps ahead of me.
Michael Riley from 2 months ago, and I think y'all will appreciate this one. Sling us a web. You're the Spider-Man. Sling us a web tonight. Because we're all in the mood for a hero now. And there's evil doers to fight.
Well,
we got the next Weird Al. It's Weird Mike.
Weird Mike. Is this name really Weird Mike?
No, it's weird. It's Michael Riley.
Oh,
but
okay. I was really hoping it was Weird Mike, and he really is gunning for Weird Al.
Yeah.
Like a guy who's just aggressively coming for Weird Al.
Although only YouTube post is just like a picture of him holding Al's head, and it's just tearing it up.
I mean, there's no proof that this isn't Dr. Patrick Michael Riley, our co-host emeritus. It could have been him.
That's definitely who it is.
The old Zoom professor.
Yeah, he's just in.
It's got to be Pat.
He's just in Canada getting real weird with it. This one is 812 recovery from 1 year ago. I'm sitting in my Uncle Billy's grave right now, playing the harmonica for him. I'm not good at it, but I like to think he's up there listening to every note saying, "You suck, but I love
rules.
But I love you, puss." That was just our love, man.
That guy's the best.
I sure do miss him. God bless Billy Joel, man. So shout out to 812 recovery. That's I love that.
That guy's borderline a King of the Hill character.
I'm telling you, Uncle Billy shouting down from heaven, "You suck, but I love you, puss," is outstanding.
That person wants to do a record deal. Get in touch with me. It's real on brand for what I'm into.
I really was hoping it was for a second I thought it was A24 recovery.
Yeah.
It's just I saw all those movies. I can't do it.
Yeah. You have to see Ex Machina.
They were morally obligated after Hereditary to open up a facility to make people better again.
And finally, Gene Judy 1111 from 1 year ago. And I like this because this is almost poetry, man. Billy Joel, many bars ago, the incredibly good times, yet the pain in the neck of liquor licenses, cocktail waitresses, pizza places I used to own at college. Shortly thereafter, all the jukeboxes, FM radios wafting Billy Joel. Sometimes foosball, sometimes pinball, private planes, the girls, Triumph motorcycles, my old Jags, sound systems with massive 5-foot, 100-pound basso profundo hardwood speakers. The otherwise fabulous music of the era was matchless. I never liked Billy Joel. I didn't like him then, and I'm reminded that I still find him quite irritating after hearing this. Billy Joel was a long time ago. That's one good thing about aging. Meanwhile, it's been terrific living overseas, particularly in Mozambique and Thailand, Philippines, and most of all, Taiwan. I think many of us boomer-era adventurers have done quite fine and dandy without recorded Billy Joel spew.
Wow.
Did he imply that college students were listening to Billy Joel?
No, I think he was
giving his life story.
he was saying
It was either that or he owns a college.
No, I think
he owned a pizza restaurant in college.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's the part I was like, what? Damn, like I didn't do shit.
Yeah, I definitely did not own any franchise businesses at Cal State Long Beach.
Me neither. I didn't have any at Moore Park College.
I think I don't know. We've done so many of these. I have vast opinions on YouTube comments, but my favorite one is an extremely long, wistful comment that takes a sharp turn into like, also, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
Like you think it's gonna be like Billy Joel.
Kept his
takes me
tone
back.
though, where it's like never cared much for Billy Joel.
Right.
Like it's just he was wistfully going, and then got back to the point where it's like, I love living in all those places. Never cared much for Billy Joel.
Actually, I fucking hate this song. It makes me insane.
I decided I'd give it another chance, sitting here in Thailand in a mansion. And you know what I think? Fuck you, Billy Joel.
Why don't you go smoke cigarettes on your dock?
Now I'm back off to my harem with my pet tigers.
I have my own dock to smoke
my
cigarettes on.
Hello Kitty machine gun.
Hello Kitty AK-47.
And of course, a hi-fi setup with quadraphonic sound I have owned since 1978.
It has not been repaired or upkept in any way.
It has been immaculate the whole time. It has only ever played one record, and that record is the first Genesis album.
And that is Billy Joel's Piano Man, our jam of the day. Kyle, please tell people where they can find you on the internet.
All right. Well, I am at Kyle Clarker's Rad on Twitter and Instagram. And I would like to throw out a promotion both to, so I've got my podcast, This Is Rad. My podcast, Everything is Scary, that I do with Jen Saunderson and Amy Drolet about horror stuff. And then I, over quarantine, made a comic book. And the first issue just came out called Tales from an Analog Future. It is available on Gumroad. If you search Tales from an Analog Future Gumroad, or I'll shoot you the link that you can put it in something. But it's I'm real proud of it. It's real fun. It's set in the future. If the future was also the 70s, which means flying El Caminos and you can still smoke, but there are robots.
Yeah, Kyle just gave me a nice advanced copy, and I have already found a full-page illustration that I'm going to need in full color on my wall tomorrow.
We'll be getting there.
It's so fucking sick. It's an El Camino flying out of a Waffle House.
Yeah.
It's my shit.
That was the last page of the first piece we did, and I think both of us agreed that a flying El Camino shooting away from a Waffle House is like, well, this is something clearly the world needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, man. I miss doing these, and we should tease that at some point here there's early talks of doing a summit episode. Getting us and Keith and Tom's and some of the other folks out here and just do a real real old school classic. Oh, your friends are back.
Yeah.
Some sort of wacky races scenario.
Hey, buddy, I'm down anytime. Well, thank you so much for doing this. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. The best way to support the show, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Join the Tower of Power. And second best way to support the show is to go to Apple Podcasts, where you can rate, review, and subscribe. Also at prowrestlingtees.com/thegoodspod. We have a brand new
cool
t-shirt designed by our friend Juan Zamora. It is based off of our very dumb Timefoot Bigfoot Sasquatch riff. He basically recreated the poster of the original Terminator, except it's Sasquatch.
Hells yes.
So that rules. That's available now at prowrestlingtees.com.
They're all things that you should do with the attitude of gratitude.
That's right. And if you don't have the attitude of gratitude, fuck you.
Yeah.